Welcome back to Adventures in Aanthara. It is session 77. There's two sevens in that one, Brian. That's all
That's
I got
special.
Wow.
Every session is
I'm
special.
so proud of
you. You know what happens when you roll a 7.
I don't know what happens when I roll a
Moving
7. Okay. Oh gosh, what happens? Yes, that's what we're doing. I don't remember how to play D&D. Previously on Adventures in Aanthara, the party has been traveling eastward from Ilmara towards Hawkholm and then potentially out of Kathos entirely, following the trail of Rill and Magnox, the figures they had previously met on the road in the northwest, who they believe may have some link to or clues regarding the kidnapped children, those who are still kidnapped. They have come across a couple of interesting encounters on the road, including an old abandoned cache of some sort that they managed to music their way into, and found some curious magic items and some dusty monsters. And then last time came across a large contingency of Kathian military who were seemingly gathering at an outpost. And while making their way through, having a brief conversation, getting the lay of the land on the tensions, national tensions, there was a guerrilla attack of some kind. Not by gorillas. Guerrilla attack.
Gorilla?
Gorilla.
Oh gosh, why do I even say this word? Which the party proceeded to, in a wide manner of fashions, make their way through, disguising themselves mostly as a band of old ladies and young children. And while breezing their way through a battle, also throwing out a whole bunch of magical and also, in some cases, martial assistance to the military. Eclipse is the only one who was seen in this, but the magical effects that took place, including a massive fire pillar from the sky, seemed to catch the notice of quite a few of the soldiers. So TBD how that will play out in the future.
It wasn't that noticeable.
It was a pillar of fire from the sky.
What are you talking about?
Literally everybody within 100 yards looked at it. At least.
I subtle spelled it.
True. And that was the last day that we left off, reaching the night, setting up for camp, and then Faye and Nas taking watch, and Faye handing to Nas a scroll she had been working on for some time now that would allow him to cast the sending spell. And we pick up there at the end of your watch. What would you two like to do?
I don't remember what else I had done in that watch. I think I gave you a pen and a piece of paper.
He's gonna cross out the 14th line. Start writing again. Probably doesn't realize that the watch is even going on anymore.
I'll start walking over towards the hammock and fold the top of the page down and just fold it over and tap it and go wake up Sam. It'll be there tomorrow.
Oh, you're right.
Okay. Sam, you are awoken in the middle of the night from a
Just
dreamless, staticky slumber.
Yeah. Just rub the residual static away as much as I can. just silently get up, go sit, facing away from camp.
Roll a perception check. And is there anything you'd like to do throughout your
There-
watch?
There is. I don't trust any of my dice right now.
Valid.
Perception? 17. It's not bad.
Okay.
I'll probably sit for like half an hour, 45 minutes, just waiting for everybody else to settle back down, and then I'll get up from where I'm sitting and kind of just like walk out a little bit. Still within island of the camp, but just a bit farther away. Then probably find like another like rock or stump to sit on, and then I'll pull out a little piece of sending paper.
Okay.
And I will write another letter to read.
Okay.
And it'll say, if you could help me, you already would have. Besides, we're past the point of helping me. Blood has been shed. They need to make an example of someone, and I'm just too convenient for that example to not be me. If you truly want to help, come find me yourself. If you want me in custody, don't bother looking. And read, I don't care what they believe. I care what you believe. And I'll send it.
Damn. All right. Send that to me if you would.
I will.
Facts.
Sheesh.
I'll just kind of sit out in the quiet. Just with my thoughts. For another, like, 20 minutes. Just kind of let it sit and then look back towards the camp and wander back. Bless you, Brightwing.
Oh my god.
So aggressive.
That was insane.
Welcome to
How
cold and flu
bothered I
season,
missed
everybody.
it.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think that Leah may have just expelled a demon. I'm not sure. um if you're not watching on the YouTube, but I don't really know how you wouldn't be because we don't put this out as a podcast. Leah just sneezed her headphones off.
That is going to turn into a GIF.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Are you okay, Leah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been sneezing all day, but that's definitely the hardest.
There was wind up on them. They were like,
Yeah. You had it loaded and then there was recoil.
That's
True.
the
Impressive part.
recoil.
all right. Your watch goes by without any notable observation or reply. Granted, it's the middle of the night.
It is.
Who do you wake up for a third watch?
Feel Brightwing.
Okay.
Just kind of gently shake her.
Oh, Auntie. My turn?
Mm-hmm. Then
Does
I'll-
my passive insight give me anything?
Sam,
Yeah.
do you think that Sam's observable mental and emotional state is never particularly calm and stable. So do you think that there's enough going on here that it would stand out above that?
It looks mostly like a continuation of last night as we were getting ready to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
She's just very anxious. Obviously just like distressed and upset. But she's not trying to like take it out on anybody, so she just shuts up.
Would you like some tea before you go to bed?
I'm okay. I just need rest.
Okay. I'll just be over there if you need me, okay?
I'll get into my cot, my hammock, and cast calm emotions on myself with the teddy bear before I go to bed.
Willingly fail to save, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. This is the first time anyone's used it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just for the fun of it, roll a percentile dice.
Percentile?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez, Louise. 23.
23. Okay.
Mhm.
You have never met an owlbear in your life.
No.
Not many people have, except everybody in this group. That's
Except
not
for
you.
me. Yeah.
When you cast the spell, there is this small sound that emits from it that sounds like something between a purr and a growl and a hoot, sort of all mixed together. Very, like if in the real world there was a stuffed animal toy that had the little paw that you would grab. It's like that, but it's like if it was a chibi version. And so the sound is like higher, but soft. It's very cute, for lack of a better term.
It's a kid's toy version of
Yes,
an owlbear noise.
correct. And it almost seems to, like, the feathering seems to like fluff a little bit, and it seems to nestle almost for just a half second. You're not really sure. And then you feel this. You felt calm emotions before from Brightwing. It feels a little bit different. At least I think it was Brightwing. Yeah. This feels a little bit different, but similar, and you just feel the edge of the stress and the concern and the anxiety all soften. It's not gone. It's still there underneath somewhere, but all of that pinprick edge of it is softened away, and you feel calmed enough to fall back asleep with less issue than normal. Brightwing, roll a perception check. And is there anything you'd like to do on your watch?
Yeah. 23.
Okay.
So with what had happened the day before, and Brightwing being very like shocked by how real and gruesome that was, I'm feeling pretty helpless with it. Brightwing's gonna go out a little bit away from camp, still there. And she's gonna start to like see her like start to like shift some stuff around, use a bit of stone shape, use a bit of druid's craft, and like make these sort of things. And she's gonna cast silence on the area and walk out of it until she's about like 50 feet away. And then for as many spell slots as she has left, she's gonna cast guiding bolt over and over and do target practice and train. And because it's in silence, no one can hear it. The impacts, at least.
Okay. Roll. I'll say. Roll 1d20 with advantage.
Uh, 16.
Naturally. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The camp and your sleeping companions are just ever so faintly backlit by these flashes of color in the distance. And the first couple are just slightly off or just nick a shoulder, but then you focus in and your drive to better locks in and you start shattering. Roll a wisdom check.
Nine.
9.
Yeah.
Okay. Your focus and fervor is heavily on the annihilation. And you do this until you're out of spell slots. Okay. When you're done, what do you do?
I think she tries to cast a bit more and realize she doesn't have the energy left for it. Part of it is frustrating because she wants to keep going because she hasn't really trained like this. And the other part recognizes that I can't push myself to flat because I have to do this tomorrow for them. So I think like part of her was beginning to start to cast like cantrips, but she frustratingly takes a sigh and goes and sits by the campfire and but I think before she did that, I'll save one spell slot and cast plant growth over by the area that I was doing it at to try and hide any sort of destruction.
Okay. Roll a investigation check. Actually, what's your passive investigation?
10.
Okay. Okay. You walk over, you see the rubble scattered. Quote unquote burnt by radiant fire or light. And you grow a little patch of taller grass and shrubs. And it looks maybe a little out of place given the general flora, but not like a battleground. Okay.
Then I'll go sit back down. And I guess start on breakfast for everyone when they wake up.
Okay. I will say if you don't have any heroic inspiration, you can take one. If you do, which you seemingly always do, you can give it to someone else.
Ooh. Who doesn't have one?
And you can tell me how you give it to them in the morning.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Everybody eventually, without much other issue on your watch, wakes up at dawn or when the sun rises.
Is it toast?
We have bread, right? We
Did
got
you?
fresh
Yes.
baked bread.
Yes, you did.
Okay. Then I think it's like bread. It's toast. I don't know if they have toast in Kauai, but I think it's toast. And whatever else we had. And then some fruit.
Okay.
He's gonna grab a piece of toast and just kind of, I don't know, like smush a strawberry into it like this. I love
Yep,
toast.
yep.
It's fresh jam.
I could just mash it in my pestle, in my mortar. If you want jam.
I feel like this feels less processed.
I mean, I guess that is fair. Yes.
I like the chunks.
And I think, I don't know, does Sam rise with everyone else? Or is she sleeping in a little bit with her mental
We-
state?
Once everybody starts moving around and making noise, she'll wake up. Just kind of sit up half off the hammock with her coffee. And just observe quietly. Still sort of groggy.
Ooh. I haven't picked spells yet, so give me someone else talk. I'm trying to think.
Did we ever determine what our order is for hammocks?
I'm on the
It's
bottom.
Yes, Faye is on the bottom. That's all I know.
Is it 3 or 2?
It's yeah.
It's a
3.
triple decker hammock that we technically have 2 of them.
Sam, are you
Yes.
on 2 or 3?
She was taking whatever it was open.
Is Eclipse in it? I can't remember if Eclipse sleeps in it.
I think Eclipse did not.
I don't think that's good for stability, so no.
I don't know if we've been using 2 of the triple deckers and just using the bottom 2 rungs of them.
Probably.
Well, technically we only need one because at least one person's always awake.
Oh,
Mhm.
true.
Also
We
true.
just cycle through.
Exactly. We shared.
Providing there's trees.
Hmm. Which you have made a point of picking your camps based off trees that work.
Nas
for
would
hammocks.
still be, he'd be awake, but he'd be laying in whatever hammock is open tier 2 or tier 3. Not saying much. Just piece of paper.
Okay.
Faye's gonna like, oh, actually. Nope. Well, what's your passive perception?
11.
Shit. Okay, you hear me. That's what I rolled on my stealth check. You don't have to introduce yourself. They'll know it's you.
Cross it out again. Go to the next. So few words.
You don't? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't know what you did.
It's Brightwing.
No, that's perfect, and it's canon, and I believe that she just does not care. I believe that she knows and doesn't care.
You know it's serious, Brightwing, when she doesn't introduce herself.
It's true.
That's when shit hit the fan.
Mm-hmm. It's when they start texting with periods after every sentence. Okay, period.
Okay, AY, period.
So you know you're in trouble.
Okay.
Ugh. That sucked, right? Like, we all agreed that that was bad, and that sucked. I feel like I don't know how else to process all that. Are you okay, Sam?
Okay as I can be. Obviously not great.
What even happened?
It was all at once. Couldn't even tell who won.
I don't think anybody won.
Why is this happening? I thought we... I was so confident. And maybe it's the shaded wind. I thought they were going to...
They were going to tell the public. That was part of the reason we found what we did.
Mm-hmm.
But they haven't.
Is that... the Khaing government not saying it? Or allowing it to be released to the public?
The reason we worked with them so much was because they were outside of the government. I don't even know how it works anymore.
I don't know.
They were there to be a check for the Khaing government. To monitor or make sure everything was right, and just feels like they have information and they aren't sharing it. At least I thought once that we gave them jet, flint, iron, whatever, they could have at least gotten some sort of a ceasefire.
I don't think evidence matters when emotions are raised this high.
But it wasn't Kathos that attacked.
It wasn't, but they haven't exactly gone out of their way to improve relations with Silari either. I'm not saying that it's any one side's fault.
When there's this much unrest within a country, people do things. They sent the Ivory Guard to every city, as far as they could, to tell them that an assassination had been done, and we've seen nothing about that, talking about identifying the ones that did it and seeing that they were taken care of. That hasn't happened. It's only a matter of time before even more people decide that this is a time to push for some kind of power, cause some sort of chaos.
Well, and we know because of that they have the means of spreading information, accurate information. They've just chosen, if they have it, they've just chosen not to.
I just feel at this point it's all linked. I guess I don't understand the politics of it.
Well, I don't know. I control what you can control, I guess. We're on our way to do something that we have some modicum of control over. Or we think we do.
I guess one concern is getting back into Kathos.
If... well... oh. Who needs to be someone that they are not? You, Sam? Do you need... yeah, okay. We'll get that. Brightwing, you've got your papers from before, right? And you've got something?
I was supposed to keep them?
Oh, honey.
I'm just kidding. Bad idea.
Hmm.
No, Sam, I have multiple pairs of papers. If you'd like, you could be one of them.
I'm not a very good actor. And besides, can't they
Nas has a safe house somewhere that has a whole bunch of fake IDs and passports and monies.
Money in
Jesus
different
Christ,
currencies.
Jason
Yes.
Gold coins laid out in a row.
Besides, can't they like detect magic at the gate?
Oh, that's right.
the illusion.
We may need to consider that as we get closer.
I can stay outside the city. It's not that big of a deal.
We could
Just
all
camp
stay
out.
outside the city unless we need something.
Do you want to
Send
say hi
a
to your
couple in
brother?
if we needed to.
I think he's probably pretty busy right now.
Well, maybe that's a good reason to say hi.
Maybe on the way
Maybe.
back. I'm a little familyed out right now.
Okay.
Just to keep options open, I suppose. In case it does go awry for any reason, we may need to come in through a different place than where we left.
You know, he's coming through Pyrrhus here. There's a river that runs through. It's easy travel across the continent.
Just think the more people that see us repeatedly raises more questions.
There may be other ways. By then, we'll see. We may not immediately return to Kathos. Who knows? Do we need anything? Are we good on supplies? I think I'm good. There's that shop, that unique shop in Holcomb.
I think the only thing that I may need from there is something we'd have to steal. I don't think that would happen.
Yeah, I think we've got a pretty solid entrepreneurial relationship with them. I really don't want to jeopardize that.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, we're not. Well. Never mind.
All right. Well, sun's up. Do you want to trade? Do you want me to drive the carriage and you can borrow my clipboard?
That would be great. Can I borrow the glasses too?
No.
It's worth a shot.
True. Okay. You guys load up and head out. Okay. I need travel rolls and a d20.
D20. 8.
I guess I'll get Constitution.
Okay. 8.
What's your survival plus bonus?
9.
9 plus.
The con
4.
It's natural
and
3.
charisma's 5.
I'm not rolling
12.
again the entire session.
Oh boy.
Yeah, 13 total for charisma. Or
Okay.
14. 14.
15 con.
Okay. Okay.
And then let's see. An 11 animal handling check because Faye has driven a wagon for a total of 4 seconds, and it was during that fight.
Yo.
Like you trauma bond with the horse. It's
Yes.
fine.
The DC to get these horses to properly drive the cart has been increasingly lowered over time as they have gotten used to it and used to everything that comes with being your horses. So that's enough to keep them forward on the path. Incidentally, the weather turns a little bit gray, and towards afternoon begins to rain, and by evening is raining a decent amount. And probably contributes to what is a little bit slower of a travel day overall. You guys have a parasol, but I don't think much else in the way of... Okay, so it is a rather
lace.
wet
It's
evening. Yep.
I could fix that
Okay.
a little bit.
didn't we,
Are we
like,
stopping? Did we finish the day? Or are we still traveling?
Well, is this something you would do at the end of the day? Or something...
I can do it multiple times. It's
Okay, the
just
rain starts around like 4, which would be a couple hours before you'd usually end your travel.
I can control water.
Interesting.
For up to 10 minutes. But I can do that. When is control water? 4 can do up to 3 times. So I guess if any of the times get really, I guess, sticky. I don't know. There's different types of it. Redirect
could-
flow.
Yes, this would be a redirect flow situation. It won't be very long.
Yeah, but that's about 40 minutes, right?
If you want to use all those slots, yeah.
I guess I could do it.
It's just 40 minutes less wet than we will be in 40 minutes.
I mean, we could put up the tent though.
Yeah,
in
that's
the
what I was
back while
thinking.
that's
Like when we're trying to
happening.
put up the
At
tent, I
least
could do that.
something.
Yeah.
We have to keep the silks dry, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
We're losing value,
crate of
guys.
silks.
We're losing value
True.
right now. Panicking,
Okay.
throwing water out.
Yep.
Get the shit out of here.
I'm building. I'm building.
I'm building right now. I'm building right now.
Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah. Okay. The rest of the day, besides the change in weather, goes by without issues. Is there anything anybody wants to do over the hours of travel? I assume you are not working on your scrolls if you are driving the cart.
No, I gave my clipboard to Nas so he could work on his what he wants to say in his sending.
It's like laid on his back with the clipboard up so he can still write in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
And then once in a while he'll activate the thermal cube.
Okay.
And
That
pop
is
it off and pop it back on.
helpful to everybody who gathers around briefly because the rain is pretty cold and it gets colder as the night progresses.
I'll pull out the 17 cloaks that are still in the bag. All their coats or whatever.
There it is.
We just throw them together and make like a.
We could just make like a nest in the bottom of the wagon out of
Mhm.
coats.
Okay. Eventually, you guys find a patch of trees with some cover that will, if you want to stay in the hammocks tonight, will work for the hammocks. That might be a rather wet experience, so it may be a tent night. Up to you guys. But travel for the day ends. You find a camp spot.
Do we have 2 tents?
I believe you do, unless you've gotten rid of one at some point.
Oh,
I have a 2-person tent.
I do as well.
Does anyone have one more tent, or is it going to be a...
Well,
oh, you have a watcher.
Someone's on watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys set up the tents. Horses all huddle under the trees, looking rather displeased with this turn of events.
At least you're clean.
So real.
Okay.
Wipe the displacer beast blood off of you.
Mm-hmm. Who wants to
True.
take first watch? Or anything you want to do as the night winds down?
I'm gonna pull out an item that I don't know where I acquired it and just set it down on a flat surface somewhere, probably under one of the tents, and start setting everything up. I have an ivory chess set.
True.
I don't know where it came from.
I don't remember where it came from, but you have played it once.
Was it the purple worm?
It might have been in the purple worm.
I think it was the
yes.
purple worm. It's amazing a piece didn't get lost.
You were in a yeah.
True.
Okay.
So I'll just set that up and then stare expectantly at everyone else.
I'll sit and play chess.
Hey.
Okay. Both of you roll an intelligence check.
With proficiency, because I'm proficient in dragon chess.
Oh.
Yo!
Mm.
Which means you also can
Natural
roll lower than a
20!
10.
Get
Oh,
wrecked,
my goodness.
Megan!
Holy shit!
Natural
Wait for it,
20.
Let her cook. Let her cook. No way.
So that's
You're lying. No way.
Natural
Beat me.
29,
You
29
beat me.
total.
It was also a natural 20, but it's only a 23.
Good game.
The Arclight Primer just works for certain types of intelligence checks, right?
Oh,
Not for general intelligence
no,
checks?
I could use that, but I still couldn't beat her. No. Oh, yeah, it's intelligence, arcana, or intelligence investigation.
That's
Yes.
what I thought. Okay. Okay. For anyone who stops by to watch, this is a masterful battle of dragon chess. Probably the best that Faye has ever played. Given Sam's proficiency in it, I imagine she's played this well before. Also, Faye, I don't know who you played with before, but you quickly come to learn that Sam knows this game very well.
Mm-hmm. I think
and
she probably learned from, like... That's the one thing her and her dad probably got along doing.
Mm-hmm. And eventually, in a long, drawn-out final few moves, Sam is able to conquer. But it is an excellent game.
I deserve that.
Shake your hand.
Yeah.
Good game.
Good distraction.
Mhm.
All right.
Pick up
If
the pieces
nothing
that are
else.
scattered across the tent.
Uh-huh.
You just like hooked.
Flip table.
Just falls
Right when
infinitely.
jumps at the sound.
Yeah.
For real. She hears it on the other
Yep.
side of the camp.
Right Wing, what are you building? Turns around from like little like humanoid stick figure men. Nothing.
Nothing. What are you talking about? It's playing tic-tac-toe in the corner with Nas.
A real game of wits.
Mm. The rain is winning.
Mhm.
Okay. Who wants to take first watch?
Like first.
I'll
Perception.
take it with Nas.
Yay! Double perception check.
Double.
9.
18.
I've rolled no shit. That is my third 8 today.
Damn.
8 in the pre-roll, 8 on whatever the thing was for the check, and then 8 on this one for the perception check.
You said 19, right wing?
18.
18. Okay. Anything you two want to do? Besides hiccup.
What have you been writing all day?
They gave me something. It's a way to talk to people like you do.
I Like I'm right now. Think you can already do that.
Well, my mother gave me that gift. No, the long distance one.
Sending?
Mhm.
Wow.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to say. Usually I have something for everything, but this is probably one of the hardest things of 25 words I've ever had to think about.
Huh. Yeah. A lot to say with very few words, I understand, yes. Well, I do know how to cast, if you need any advice. But you're better at words than I am, so
I'm better when I can say very many of them, and distract and poke holes and twist, and I guess maybe this is a way for me to learn to get to the point once in a while. You alright?
no. But seems like there's going to be a lot of people now.
It's okay to not be alright.
I know. That was just type of evil I've never seen before. I knew it happened, but to be in the middle of it, I've been angry, but that I've always been able to control it. I didn't even know I could spit fire, let alone do that, so that was scary too.
I'd like to say it was the first time I've ever been attacked by a bunch of people on the backs of beasts. It's not something you think would happen very often.
When
do you
was the
think
first
of you?
time?
That was the night that the skyship crashed.
Oh. That's right. They were just flying beasts, correct?
Large bats. Not quite as scary as beasts, but of course I didn't jump on the back of a bat.
No. And you were the only one that survived, yes?
It seemed that Delona did.
It's true.
If she's alive. I think she's alive. Haven't thought of it recently, I guess.
If no one else did but you two, and then we met, I would say that is some sort of fate. But I think my fate is something different than yours. Something pushed you. I'm sorry, this might be a bit an overstep. Something saved you from that crash and something gave you that weapon, right? You don't have to say I'm not trying to push you into that. It's just we've been on the road for a long time together, and I mean, I saw the night you got it. I may be naive to the world, but I know a magic weapon doesn't just come out of nowhere for no reason. And you have magic now that is your own, that you've grown into, but the magic you showed me, that as someone that gets their magic from something else, I know it's, well, something else for you too. You don't have to share, but
Do you believe in fate?
I believe that I'm here for a reason. And I was meant to meet you, and Faye, and Sam, and Eclipse, Donna, Seraph, Edwin. But there is a reason I met you first, I think.
I think there's one thing they got when they named you. They got it very correct. You are bright, Brightwing. There was something. I didn't get my first bit of magic until shortly before I met you. Until then, I was much like Eclipse. Only not strong or good with a weapon. I could swat flies, and that was about it. I don't fully understand all of it yet. But once I do, I'll tell you about it.
I appreciate that. Again, you don't have to.
I know. It would be nice to, though.
It is a pretty cool weapon.
Completely impractical. But somehow it makes sense. What do you feel you need to not be Upset? Angry? Not okay? Sad? Whatever it is that you're feeling.
I know that feelings are a very temporary thing. Actions are a bit more grounded. So I think I need to put more action.
Like what?
Well, I kind of practiced last night, training with spells that I don't really use in a aggressive way. But I did it really quietly so I wouldn't wake you up. But I'm very good at healing. I've always been very, very good at that. But I think I'm going to have to be, save myself sometimes and save others in a different way.
As long as you feel it's true to you.
It is different. But growth doesn't come from comfort.
It's good to get uncomfortable once in a while.
Yes. I think we're going to be uncomfortable for a bit.
And then once we get back to civilization, we'll have a nice bath, a nice bed.
I guess I'm more comfortable than you are out here, but
Have you thought about what you need to send to your people?
yes. But I know of a way to get them to understand. But that has to be in person, and that is a last resort. But they would certainly listen. But let's just hope it doesn't come to that.
Or are you going to practice on one of them with the spells you don't use very often?
Of my people?
Well, I'm just trying to understand. You're being a bit cryptic for me.
I guess I am. I know I don't really I tell you everything, but this is something I think I should probably keep to myself from now on.
I can respect that.
Because I know if I tell you, you wouldn't get.
I won't push either. I think one thing I've learned is to trust others more. I know that I've put a lot of trust in you, Eclipse, Sam, Faye. There's a different thing from supporting each other as much as we all do. Whatever you need to have happen, if it's what you need, we'll support you.
You promise?
I promise. And I am going to reach out with a pinky. Your pinky. Just like I promised you long ago. I know it's not the same, but it's kind of similar, so at least give me points for that. And I'll take her pinky and I'll cast Fly.
Hey.
Oh. Is this what happens when you make promises?
Is when I make good on my promises.
What do I do?
Fly. If you really want to get the full effect, you might want to shift, so you at least think it's your wings.
That's a good idea. Okay.
If anything, it might be practice. We could get in a tree, and then I could like push you up. That's what they do with birds, right? They push you. No, let's not do that one. That's bad.
Flashbacks to trauma. I guess let's just start with this for now.
Mhm.
And I'll shift.
Okay.
And I'll fly.
Okay. Where or how do you fly?
It's in the rain, right?
It is in the rain.
So I think I'll go up as high as I can. Kind of like, I think for what the visions and dreams I've had where I'm flying, to get sort of that same point of view looking down. And then do that for as long as I can.
Roll d20.
Two.
2. Okay.
I'm not connected with the wilds today, guys.
The shifted feathers get a little soggy in the rain, but fortunately they're not responsible for keeping you aloft right now. And there's a part of it that feels like natural, and like there's this pull on you that you as Brightwing and as a Khaing sense is coming from that Khaing spirit, feeling its natural domain. But there's also a large part of you that is not used to this, has always dreamed of it but never been able to find it, and there's been a sadness in that, and then the pounding of the rain doesn't help, and it's like this tension between the two that you feel pretty poignantly before eventually you sense it beginning to run out.
I think Brightwing, since it's running out, but I think she desperately tries to like continue without the spell for a few seconds.
How high off the ground?
We're pretty high.
Yo! Okay.
And I think like, because it's not gonna work, but for like theater of the mind, art wise, right as like the spell ends, she's flapping in that moment of like, there's a brief moment like it's working, then it doesn't, and then there's like a thunderous clap, and she starts to fall.
Exactly how high up, you get to decide.
Ooh. I have a featherfall coin, so I'm not that worried. I'd say probably like 100 feet.
Okay. Nas, are you watching this whole time?
Mhm.
Okay. You are keeping a general eye, shielding your eyeballs from the rain. And you also sense, because it's your spell, as it begins to fade, and get quite a bit concerned because she's way higher than she should be. And then. And you feel the spell drop when she's 100 feet up, and she just starts plummeting towards the ground. And. Brightwing?
Oh, like I think there's like a few more desperate flaps. That just doesn't work, and then she just squeezes the featherfall coin and catches herself about 20 feet and slowly descends the rest of the way.
Okay. Fortunately, she falls to the ground, lightly touching down next to you. Also, I forgot that I had this.
I think she'll just kind of like lean into you. And I think it's not even, there's no words.
Say again, Brian?
There's probably a point he just, after maybe a minute or so, you'll do it for real one day. You'll find it in yourself.
Yeah.
Give her a tight hug.
And we'll go wake someone else up in like the next few minutes.
Who do you awaken?
Eclipse.
Okay. Eclipse, perception check, and anything you'd like to do.
Oh wow, natural 20. That's crazy.
Yo!
25.
Okay.
Sorry, Luna. Uh. Don't really have anything. She's probably just gonna enjoy some quiet to herself.
Okay. You take a few hours of rainy, peaceful quiet, probably next to Crater, whose ears are constantly upset at the rain, but
Think
nothing.
noticing he's uncomfortable, I'll probably take my cloak off and try to put it over him so that it's covering more.
Okay. You like throw it up over his back,
Yeah.
and he reaches back with his teeth, puts it up on his head a little bit.
I think she just kind of sits in it and enjoys it instead of being like, "Ugh."
Okay. Nothing of note on your watch. Who do you awaken?
Do either of them look like they're having a nightmare?
Roll an insight check. And Faye, roll a percentile dice.
Well, it's an 8, so.
Okay.
$98, Matt.
Damn!
Whoa.
Okay, you
It's
are
either
having
really good or really bad.
Yes,
My
you are
bad.
having a very intense dream. I will let you decide what it is because it's nothing particularly magically gifted to you, but something intense. So, if it's something that you believe you would be reactive to,
I think we've established that Faye falls out of hammocks, so I think she's like a sleep
True.
twitcher too.
okay.
I think that seems canonical.
Yep.
Think.
Faye looks like she might be battling some warriors in her sleep.
Does she look like she's
Sam-
gonna fall out this time?
It could happen very shortly here.
I mean, a 10.
Oh, that's
Intense.
true. That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Intense.
It's an intense dream in
It's
a tent.
intense. True.
My bad.
Sam, you will note, has like a almost constantly furrowed mid-brow when sleeping, but other than that, there is nothing of note.
I'll wake up Sam.
Was it that time?
Yeah, it's a tough choice, and I'll just like motion over to Faye, who's just having a time.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a sleeping dog, just like
Yeah. I'm like, I never know. So if she wakes
She's
up,
playing the
just,
lute strings in her sleep.
Yep.
I guess just listen for that.
It's a battle of the bands.
Yep.
Mm.
Perfect.
Mhm.
True.
There's no way I'm ruining that.
I'll take an early morning, I guess.
Need anything, just wake me up.
No. Sit at the edge of the tent, not out in the rain. Just blanket, staring out at the fields.
Okay. As you sit up and shuffle to the front of the tent, a small piece of paper falls out of your lap.
Oh my god.
Stir up the pot. Stir it up.
Read it.
You read it.
Mm-hmm.
You immediately recognize the handwriting. Seems your ex-husband has acquired a decent amount of these, figuring it may be a back and forth of some kind. And you read, "You know I couldn't find you even if I wanted to, and I don't know that I do. I'm not even sure who you are. It seems no one does. I just want the truth, Sam, not the whispers of the web or the half-truths of politicians. You make it sound like the answer is easy. It's not." And then there is a very small, like, one word that is scribbled out, and then there's like it looks like maybe 3 words that are scribbled out, and then under that it says, "The kids miss you."
What are the words that are scrolled out?
Make an oh gosh. Um,
An investigation check is a minimum of 23.
I know. I'm trying. You know what? Okay. Make an investigation check with disadvantage, given the nature of the scribblings.
It's still a minimum of 23.
True.
23.
Okay. It has been scrawled out with great intent to make it very hard to read what was there, but with a 23, what you are able to pick up is that the second line that's a little longer that's scribbled out ends with "and the kids." That's all you can make out.
She's just gonna stare at the paper for way too long. I'm just gonna walk out in the rain and sit in the rain. And then just tears are just gonna start falling. And she barely pays attention to her duties up during the watch. But she's just gonna sit out in the open.
Okay. Roll a perception check with disadvantage, just so we have it.
Oh, that's a natural one.
Okay. You
Minimum
pay no
of
attention. Oh.
14.
Okay, that helps. All right. Fortunately, your watch goes without issue. I assume you put the letter away before coming out here? Okay.
Tucked it away.
Okay. You tuck it
My
away.
blanket's soaking wet. I'm just sitting there.
Okay. Have you been making your replenishment rolls?
For the past 2 nights, yes, I succeeded. The first one I'm at max. Unless you want it to not be the case.
Make a wisdom check.
That's cocked as fuck. Natural 2.
Doesn't the feather give you something?
4.
The feather does give you something. I think
the feather does give me something.
a plus
Where did I write that?
1 or something?
Plus 1.
If it's a natural 2, it doesn't matter.
It's a 5 total.
You lose
But it
2
helps.
Lose 2 points.
this night.
Understandable.
And the restfulness you gained from the first couple watches is largely washed away by the increased buzz of mental struggle in your head. But eventually dawn does come. You all wake up again.
I've been getting up early anyway, but I'm getting up early to make breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still sitting out in the rain?
Yeah, you see Sam just like shoulders on, knees, like head down, hair just almost like it looks like from where you're at. It looks like she fell asleep on her watch. Like she's just like slumped over.
I think Brightwing immediately runs over with a blanket and puts it over you to protect you. And like, Sam.
I'm okay. I'm alive.
You're alive, but you're not okay.
Her eyes are red.
Your passive insight is enough, Brightwing. You can tell. You would have sensed with your insight that over the past days it has not been great, but there has been an increase in whatever is bothering
I'm gonna help you up and move you closer to the campsite. And then can I use control water to get the water off of her?
Probably.
Like
Uh,
waterbender style?
what does control water actually say?
It's
Especially
like
given that it's a new 2024 book.
that's true. Beals.
Oh, I found it.
Beals.
You can control any water inside an area you choose. It is a cube up to 100 feet on a side. Is this the 4th level spell, control water?
Yeah.
Damn. Using one of the following effects: flood, part water, redirect flow, whirlpool. Yes, I'm going to say that this could do a lot more than what you're asking for. What you're asking for could be done by certain cantrips. So
Yeah.
you can easily, like, not just pull off the water that's actively on the outside of Sam's body, but like pull it out of all her clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm wanting to do.
Basically blow dry in a second.
I think Brightwing gets you close to the fire, and you just see like just some light casting as she just kind of water bends the water off of you and puts it off so you're fully dry, and then continues to put the blanket around you. I don't know what's going on. But I want to help.
I don't think she can bring herself to say anything, so she pulls out the letter she got tonight and hands it.
Okay. Have you shown anyone any of the letters that you've been sending back and forth? Okay.
Mm-mm.
So Brightwing, she hands you a small folded piece of paper. It looks kind of familiar in style because you've seen Eclipse write on these before. And not knowing the context at all, you see, I couldn't find you even if I wanted to, and I don't know that I do. I'm not even sure who you are. It seems no one does. I just want the truth, Sam, not the whispers of the web or the half-truths of politicians. You make it sound like the answer should be easy. It's not. A couple scribbles, and then the kids miss you.
I'm so sorry. He is wrong. Or blind to not know who you are. You are Sam. You are a person that loves deeply. From every corner of the earth. Who is fierce in their actions, both on the battlefield and off. Who has a wonderful mind that sees much and knows much. You are a mother, and you are my friend. And you are much more than what he thinks you are. And I'll give, in D&D sense, the heroic inspiration to her.
Okay.
And I'll simply just give you a hug If you want to go back, you can. No one would stop you.
Doesn't say anything.
I think she'll simply get the around you tighter. I'll use control flames to get the fire going again. And then I'll just start making you a thing of tea, the same kind of one that I've been making for you that helps with this mental stuff, that gives more of an ease of mind. But I'll add to it, I think on your daughter's clothing, I'm just going to say there was some lavender colors on it, and I'll just add a sprig of lavender to it. I just kind of let you have that to hold. And I'll get breakfast going and just leave her in the warmth and the comfort out of the cold and the rain.
Okay. Eventually, the rest of you wake up, find the scene. Anything anyone wants to do in the morning? Alrighty.
Sam's still like that?
Yeah,
Sam?
she hasn't really moved. Just kind of like try to put herself together more, but it's still not looking great.
Walk over to Sam. Do you need a distraction?
Desperately.
I didn't hear that, I'm sorry. Brian didn't hear it.
Desperately.
Desperately.
Alright. Stand up.
Stand.
He casts fly on her.
You get a fly. You get a fly.
Back out
I-
to the rain.
I am going to shift into Sam's sister
Mm-hmm.
and turn towards Eclipse, pull out the Veil Blade and point at her. Eclipse, the Sisters of the Green Hair challenge you to a duel.
Okay.
Yo.
I think you'd beat either of us one-on-one, but two versus you, we may stand a chance.
Okay. Then she'll realize this needs to be more
16.
dramatic, and she'll like flourish the things out and be like,
Okay. Okay. Do you want to roll this battle?
We don't have to roll the whole battle,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
we can do the footnotes.
Okay. I will say each of you make one attack roll and one damage roll.
Okay.
Not actual damage, but this is for the
I'll
effectiveness
I'll
of your...
purposefully flourish out the battle spear of the Watcher instead.
Okay.
She
It's
doesn't blind somebody.
I don't want to disintegrate anybody.
Do you rage?
No.
Okay.
I use daggers instead of the scythes because necrotic damage is not
I use the
fun.
Veil Blade.
No, this isn't.
I'm going all out.
This to be clear, this is you get the blade up to the neck, you
Mhm.
stop, and you win that
Yeah,
point sort of thing. No
exactly.
one's actually dealing any
Mhm.
damage to anyone.
No.
But just in case.
True.
To hit.
That is my fourth natural 8 of the night.
Oh my gosh.
17.
Which misses
Dirt.
you, I believe, Eclipse.
A 17?
17.
Yeah.
Dirty, filthy 20.
Okay.
and 6 points
Okay.
if you needed damage.
Yeah. Nas, give me yours too, even though that would technically.
Damage?
Yeah.
I think also a dirty 20
Okay.
with a 6 damage. Yeah.
Okay.
16 damage.
Damn!
That with Gale Shroud?
I lied. 14 damage.
Still pretty good.
Really good.
Okay. What basically happens is the eclipse shifts the battle constantly so that wherever Nas is trying to come from, the shield is at, and then is making moves with the spear towards Sam to continue pushing her and distracting her. So Nas is just whirlwinding, and Eclipse is, with the mobility of her shield as it is, deflecting pretty much everything, swinging out, stabbing through. There's a good amount of dodges and ducks from Sam, and a couple times she swings in underneath the spear when the shield distraction is happening on Nas and gets a point or two. Overall, you two learn very quickly you would not like to be in a duel with Eclipse in real life if she was trying to kill you, and she's not even unleashed right now. That's the main takeaway from this experience.
As this is going on, I think I will simply nudge Faye and just hand her the letter.
Okay.
Read it.
Do you need me to read it again? Or do you
No, I got the vibe. I think it's like a look down, read it. Look up, fold it up, hand it back over to her. Okay. Shit.
Goes on for 10 minutes maybe of back and forths, kept breath catching, a couple more back and forths. It's a good bit of exercise after a long day of travel that is not hell-bent on protecting your own life from immediate danger or slaughtering someone else.
I'll look at Brightwing after like a few moments has passed, maybe when they're towards the end of it. You know you're not exempt from this either, right? Like, we could duke it out sometime.
Do you want to fight?
We could try.
Me
I think
and
we're
you?
probably more evenly matched than the three of them.
No, that's probably really true. Am I allowed?
Maybe not
Would-
today, but I just putting it out there.
I
I don't think
I-
either of us really have any hand-to-hand skills. Ooh, maybe Eclipse could teach us some like evasive maneuvers sometime.
You know, I feel like I have not been meeting my full potential when it comes to dodging.
Hooray! Oh my gosh.
I feel like there is something I could do better with it.
Yeah.
Like I
all
see
right.
it coming, like all
Uh-huh.
the time, but I just stand there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Okay. Sparring match complete. Everybody a little wetter than they'd like to be at the start of the day, but the rain continues. You guys head out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me some rolls.
I'm not fucking rolling.
Okay.
I'll
I
do the
got a
survival
natural
because that's-
20
On.
Make it the charisma one. We need it.
at the charisma. Brightwing's so morally pep
Good
today.
Yep.
It's going to be another 8 and calling out. What's a 19? What's the
Okay.
thing?
You did survival, you said?
Survival, yeah.
Wow, okay. Clips and Faye.
You want the con or do you want the random?
Well, you can decide.
I mean,
She
I'll
said
do
with
the
a
con.
sly grin.
The survival, by the way, is +9 now. If people
Yes,
haven't been
it's
adding +9.
27.
Yep.
Hey,
Okay. It's an 8 for
we
the con.
are not getting lost on this
There's the
road
8.
that we are on.
For the con, you said, Eclipse?
Yeah.
Listen,
For the con.
we're at least gonna have a 10 every day.
Yeah.
That's true.
I got a 17.
Okay.
And for the
Okay,
con-
this day, despite the rain, maybe the little pep in your step from the morning sparring, you guys do move much better. 17?
Yep.
Oh, good. Oh. Good. Okay. Anything anybody wants to do as the day begins to progress?
Yes.
Travel stuff.
Take the reins back.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Sending.
Okay. To
Oh, God.
whomst?
Ziggy.
Oh my sweet lord. Okay.
I'll be right back.
Ziggy. Your acid key worked beautifully. Thank you. Still testing the oh god.
It's that sack.
No, not that one.
Oh,
The gauntlet.
Just that one.
I have 9 left. 6. Anti-splat sack is terrifying.
Okay. Okay. You hear a yawn, and then oh, good heavens.
Yeah.
Okay. It's lock begun, not acid key. But that's good to know. How far in the Respeller Gauntlet have you gotten? Hope to get more updates soon. I need tea.
That's it. I have had this post-it note since we used it, and it just was not anywhere near where I could see it, and I forgot about it, so
Okay.
now I can get rid of a post-it
One
note.
less thing. One less thing.
I
we
mean,
need
I
to test the anti-splat sack soon. Is that like tonight?
we could tonight.
We-
That'd be
we
fun. I could go 400 and well, hold on. No, 500 feet. Straight up into the air. No.
What?
Hold on. I don't think I could.
You
No,
could.
I think I could.
Yes, you could.
I could.
You could.
Dimension Door doesn't require you to land on a surface.
Oh my gosh. Is that true? I'm not
Because it's you going, so it assumes that if you're going somewhere where you can. Oh, that brings new possibilities. How many D6s is that, Matt?
50.
49.
Oh,
the first
yeah.
entry doesn't count.
You can describe by stating distance and direction, such as 300 feet upward to the northwest at a 45-degree angle. This is written in the new language of the spell, so yes, you absolutely can do that.
49 D6s.
And worth noting, by the way, I don't know if you've read this, you can also teleport one willing creature. The creature must be within 5 feet of you when you teleport, and then teleports to a space within 5 feet of your destination space. But there is no designation on size.
Oh,
Which
one
there
willing
used to be.
creature.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
used to have to be the same size as you were smaller.
Or smaller.
Mhm.
That's I remember distinctly another certain campaign that had issues with that
Mm.
involving a dragon.
183. Did you just roll 49d6?
Yeah.
Okay, that's insta death.
Well, I could go with
Unsurprisingly.
you.
You want to go with me?
Sure, I'm better than a parachute.
That's valid. Sure, yeah. You only
Yeah.
live at least twice. I'm on run 2.
Well, yeah, okay. I don't know if I have quite the same privilege of that.
At the very least, it'll be it'll be quite a show. Although I don't think it'll be the morale boost everyone needs at this moment.
Please don't die.
Dying's expensive.
Yes. In many different ways.
Okay. You guys continue travel. Potentially looking for opportunity to use a sack. Maybe for the rain to go out so you don't have to flash right from the rain to do it. As you come to the latter half of the day, well, the latter 10th of the day, really, when you'd start to be looking for a place to camp. Brightwing, you would see it first from quite a distance. You see a little off the road a very out of place, massive 60-foot tall tree. Very close off the road and not like any of the flora that you have seen on the plains. Everything else that you've seen has been simple plains trees, maybe 15 feet at most. This is
How far away am I?
from hundreds and hundreds of feet because it's so tall you see it from a long, long way away. At first it's really difficult to tell what it is, but then you can make out with your perception a very large trunk and then spreading boughs of what could only be a tree, though it makes no sense. This is like something from the Ethesian forest.
Why is that there? That wasn't there last time, was it?
We didn't go this way last time.
Matt,
Mm-hmm.
hold please.
Holding,
Okay.
pleasing, kitty cat.
When I am, I guess, 500 feet away from it. How
Okay,
close?
This would be you'd be around there.
Are we next to any trees?
There are spotted others, yes.
I'm a bit concerned. But if you allow me, I think I can get there and get back. I just want to check it out before we approach.
By yourself.
Yes.
There are other birds, pardon the pun, that we could send.
We could send my cat.
I know. But I know trees. I don't know how to express that. This just seems very out of place, also very familiar, but I haven't tried it. But my master, would do it every once in a while, and he would just, show up in my house, for funsies. Because I live in a tree. So I know it can be done. I've never tried it, but I think I can. I think I can do it.
I'm all for trying cool new things. I guess we'll just not be very far behind you.
Okay. I promise I will not. I will just watch and observe. And I'll be back in a minute. And if I'm not, it's bad.
Do you have any kind of a flare or maybe something
Yes.
you could shoot into the air that would be
Yes.
okay?
I have several things.
Okay.
Like a nut buster.
Okay.
Shoot that up in Eclipse, and I
First-
will be there in 6 seconds.
First, I'll cast Shillelagh on my staff.
Okay.
And then I will go up to one of the trees. And then I'll do some enchanting, rub my hands together and push it into the bark and pull so the tree splits open and you just see this doorway appear of vines going in but magical, and then Brightwing's just gonna walk in and the tree closes behind her.
Okay.
And I'll cast Tree Shrine and I can get
Okay.
to the next tree 500 feet away.
Okay. And correct me if I'm wrong, you can do this willy-nilly.
Yes.
Okay.
So once I cast it for 1 minute, I can go into any tree and know any tree that's in 500 feet from me.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I thought this was the other one and was shooketh.
Pop through a tree and pop out the other side. All of you see Brightwing disappear. Brightwing, you immediately step out of a tree into a campsite.
Oh shit.
You see a fire burning with a deer on a spit roasting over it. Interestingly, you will immediately, in a split second, given your perception, note you did not see any fire glow from where you were at, which is kind of odd because this is a pretty decent sized fire. Around the fire, you see 5 figures and a 6th that is seemingly oddly hanging upside down in midair with their feet disappearing into nothingness. And as you step out of the tree, all of them immediately look at you. You see...
Oh no.
You son of a bitch. You son of a
see
bitch.
a mousefolk man, 2.5 feet tall, black fur, gray eyes, and a dark gray cloak, who is twirling between his fingers these silvery blue, almost ethereal daggers, and immediately looks at you. You also see a orc woman, tall and lean, light gray skin, bald, but the eyebrows are dark gray. They have deep green eyes, white tattoos on the sides of the shaved bald head that look like a rack of antlers. And she is sitting with a longbow across her lap. Also immediately looks at you. You see a elf, relatively average height, lithe, olive skin, short, light wave of forest green hair that kind of goes mostly to the left shoulder and bounces just above the shoulder, with the right side braided tight to her skin, with a very fine-looking sickle on her hip and a tawny owl sitting on her other shoulder where the hair isn't, who looks at you as an owl does before the woman also turns, you see a towering block of metal, nearly 7 feet tall, extremely broad. It looks like if your whole party were here, it would probably take all of you to move this figure. Seems to be of the soul-forged species that you've seen a couple of before, but larger and stockier than any that you've seen. All these silvery metal plates that form an exterior that is also deeply engraved with all these runic symbols and designs. As it turns, you see on its chest the runic symbols sort of form into this vortex that seems to swirl around a single carved point in the center. No visible eyes or facial features. Has a massive tower shield at one arm and a mace lying next to them on a log. You see a... it would be the mouse folk man, by the way, that was up in the... with his feet disappearing into the air, kind of hanging down, upside down. You also see a bronze-scaled dragonborn man, short and lean in stature, thick tendrils of darker bronze that form these dreadlocks of a sort that go past his shoulders, deep green eyes, mostly bare-chested with a simple sleeveless cloth tunic and pants. And on his right shoulder, working all the way down the arm, you see a white tattoo of a mountain range that eventually disappears behind a pair of bracers.
Yo.
On his wrists.
That
And
guy's sick.
You see a what looks to be human or human adjacent woman, ruddy, freckled white skin, big mane of red hair, some of which is tied back, but most of which scatters across broad, strong shoulders, light blue eyes, nearly 6 feet tall, clearly extremely built, buff, in silvery splint armor, interlaced with gold, with a massive greatsword on her back. And as she in particular turns to you, her hand goes up to the hilt, and as she turns, hello there, and we'll take a break.
Oh, God.
Okay. Brightwing,
Yes.
I need you to roll initiative.
No fuck.
Initiative?
Yes?
Uh-oh.
Hey. I thought we were just talking. She said hi.
We're all pulling out a sword.
That's fine. Oh, I got just a 23. I got a natural 20.
23! Okay. Okay. So, you come out of this tree. Essentially, from a mechanical standpoint here, both parties are surprised, so I'm not going to say that anyone gets any bonuses to initiative, which is, by the way, how surprise works now. Or you get advantage, I think, but no one gets that. Because both, you're surprised by there being a group of people here, they're surprised by someone coming out of a tree. That being said, and for the record, from an in-game standpoint, obviously I had you roll initiative above the table. Kita, you gotta relax. There's not necessarily a combat thing here, but there is an order to reactions as you come out of this tree, so I needed to have an order. But,
Okay.
having said that, you are up first. In the, essentially the immediate reaction, there was this move to the hilt and this hello from the human-looking woman. What do you do?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just came through. I don't mean to hurt you. I was just curious about the very big tree.
Okay.
And I will hold my
Roll-
action just in case to jump into the tree.
Okay. Okay. Roll a.
But it's like, I'm like, this is like, I'm holding my staff like this as like a, whoa.
Okay, roll a persuasion check. No, thank you.
I am a cute
No, thank
bird girl.
you. Yes.
Persuasion? Oh, I have a +5. Now I have a +5 to persuasion? Wow. 14.
14. Okay. No, hey! No! Quiet. Quiet.
We also have a dog.
Yes, they have a very angry dog. The dog does not trust you at all. Okay. As you say this, and then you hold. Okay, just to be clear, what is the trigger for your go back in the tree?
They attack me.
They attack you. Okay.
But I have a minute to get back into the tree before the spell wears off. So
Sure.
I would say if they don't attack me in like 45 seconds, I'm gonna hop to the tree.
Okay. We'll get to that if and when you feel like you want to do that.
Okay.
All right. You finish saying this, you tense yourself for a potential leap back into tree move. The orc woman stands up and pulls the longbow off her lap and threads an arrow onto it. Doesn't hold it up at you, but just threads the arrow, looks at you, and then looks over at the human woman with the red hair who spoke originally. Seems to hold there. The elven woman. Oh,
I'm an innocent bird creature.
okay. The elven woman gets up and looks at you with a, like, don't try anything glance, and shifts around the perimeter of the camp a little bit towards the tree, seeming to get a little bit behind you. It doesn't look aggressive. It just looks tentative. Do you do anything as she makes this movement?
I'll take maybe like a step back if she gets closer, but not in a like I'm gonna come at you, more of in like a protective way, but also
Okay.
to get a little closer to the tree.
Okay. You do this. She kind of steps back an extra step herself, continues shifting, gets like pretty close to behind you. Still doesn't look aggressive. So not attacking. You're staying out of the tree.
For now.
Okay. she reaches, you see this in a moment, she reaches to the tree and touches it. Not towards you, touches the tree. And you hear her say, Lesta. And the entire tree shrinks down into a staff in her
Oh,
hands.
no.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
The rest of you,
Oh, no.
from where you're at, now moving forward as this has happened slowly, I imagine. Unless you just stopped where you were.
I think we were waiting by the tree she went through.
Okay. So, but watching this direction, and
I
she would
thought
have pointed this tree out.
no,
to
I
you.
said we're gonna keep moving our way there. Like we're
Okay.
not gonna stop.
That's what I thought.
I thought I
That's what
said that.
But wanted to make sure.
Okay.
Okay, so you would be, you're not really any closer because this has happened in the manner of basically less than 6 seconds. But as you're starting to move, literally seconds after Brightwing disappeared through this tree, you see that large shape, which most of you can basically just barely make out as a big, tall blur, but Brightwing pointed it out as a tree, disappear completely from view. What do you all do?
I'm pretty sure trees don't do that.
Mm-mm. Do you
Just
wanna?
start
I'm
running?
on it.
Maybe.
I'm on it.
Does anyone
Yeah.
want to be there right now?
I mean, I would love to, but yeah.
Okay, then I'll take your hand and cast Dimension Door.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, and
Oh,
where,
fuck.
where are you dimensioning dooring to?
Someone take her crater, please. Are we on the cart
Like-
and everything? Like this was with cart travel?
is
and all
there-
that shit?
Yeah,
Hmm.
you've been on the cart.
Closer to
Everyone
the
else is-
road, I
You're
would
on-
say.
You're on crater.
Yeah, I'm on
Okay.
crater. That's why I'm asking.
I don't know if there's a. I don't know if a sinkhole opened up over there. Like I don't know
Mhm.
what it is. So I'd
True.
say like along the road, but in the same y-axis, whichever, you know what I mean, like on the same axis, but along the road instead.
Okay, so basically as close as you can get to the camp while being on the road.
Yeah.
Like that point of the road that crosses perpendicularly with the camp. Okay. I will point out to you, just in terms of what you just said, with your passive arcana, which isn't a thing, but is kind of a thing, this was very clearly not a natural event, what just
Okay.
happened. The tree blinked out of existence as far as you can tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just tell Crater to go with them before I leave. So he should be able
Okay.
to follow alongside the cart pretty.
So you reach up and
reasonably.
touch. You have to touch for Dimension Door?
Yeah, I said I reached out and I grabbed her hand.
Okay.
Oh no, I didn't
Yeah.
Grab a
put the
clip.
new words. Is it just a willing creature within 5 feet? We were looking at that.
Yes, it is, I think, actually.
Oh, well then let's just boogie.
Okay.
Dance out.
Crater, very confused as the clip disappears from his back, but the two of you Dimension Door to the road. Okay, I'm gonna have both of you roll initiative to put you in the order now. Oh my gosh. Kita Okada.
Can I
No. No.
real?
14.
Do I get
Okay.
to add my shenanigans or no?
Yeah, it's a normal initiative roll still. I accidentally just wrote Fry instead of Faye.
You said you had a 14, Faye? Total?
Yes.
Jesus. I haven't rolled this high in a while. Okay. 22.
Damn. Okay. Okay. You see an odd sight. First of all, the unexpected oddity of a large group of people, which I have described to you, all facing Brightwing, one close behind her holding a staff, the others in various states of preparatory reaction. Also, from where you're at, you see the shape of a fire and the deer on the spit above it, but you see
There's
no
no
light, no
smoke.
flame. Which is odd.
And there's no smoke either. There's just nothing. It's just the idea of a spit.
It's hard to tell, yeah.
The fuck?
A Brightwing sees the fire.
Brightwing sees the fire, yes. You don't know that, but...
Well,
Eclipse, given your initiative roll, and the way I rule joining in an initiative, if you're in the round, and because you haven't taken an action, you could take an action here or bonus action if you want to use your turn for something. Do you want to do something?
Do I see them?
Yeah, you see them teleport
Do
into
the
existence
other
on the
people see
road.
them?
You don't know yet.
How far away am I?
You are about 40 feet from the main area of the camp.
Okay.
Can I give a look to be like, don't do anything yet?
I'm gonna look at Faye real quick and just. Do you want me to blow cover? Or. Because they don't.
yes. I don't want them to think
Okay.
she's alone.
Okay. I'll step forward with my hands up. I'm not touching anything.
Okay, spear away.
Yeah, it's all in the
Okay.
bag. It's whatever. It's just like, hey, sorry, new magic. Her bad.
Okay. roll a persuasion.
Yes, you don't say it like that!
She didn't do it.
Roll
What
a
do I do?
check.
Persuasion?
Yeah, or you can make... No, I'm not even gonna let you make an intimidation. That was way too friendly and goofy.
Nah. Wow. Persuasion. Well, it's a 17 that turns into a 16, so that's not bad.
Okay.
It's just
bad.
very
Oh,
like,
no.
sorry, bro.
And-
She's just fucking around.
How far forward do you walk? Are you just like very slowly stepping forward but not trying to make ground?
I'd say probably stop at 20 feet. But it's very slow crawl. It's not like aggressive approaching. It's just like, hey, and if I get a look, I'll stop. But
So you're
like,
basically half speed walking.
yeah.
Okay. A few of the members of the group look at you. A few others seem to be focused on Brightwing. You say this.
Yeah.
Are you two who are still at or in the cart just going to be moving it towards the group?
You want to get there fast, or do you want to get... I can send you ahead. Vortex warping, Sam.
Okay. How far does that
It's
get?
like,
her?
120 feet.
Okay, so you are 380 feet away. Well, we'll say you got 20 feet closer, so you're 480. So you're now 360 feet away. Keep
And
track.
I'm gonna yaw the wagon.
Yeah!
yeah.
Okay, you're yawing
guess-
the wagon.
I'm sprinting, action, movement, action, bonus action.
Okay.
Going
through
for it.
This is
through
porn.
the magic of roguery, you actually outpace the horses. So,
90
Alright.
feet around.
yep.
I
Okay.
got this.
All right.
Hey, it might have been a new spell, but it didn't work. Don't say this is the thing.
Oh,
Uh,
also, as I run, I'm gonna cast Disguise Self real quick.
Okay.
Into Sandy.
So not action, just bonus action and movement.
My first, when I get closer, I'll sacrifice one of my actions
Okay.
to
Okay, you're turning. to
cast
Sandy.
Disguise Self.
Okay,
Yeah.
both of you two roll initiative as well, just so you're in the order here.
Another
One.
fucking 4. 9.
9.
I need
Isn't that a skill check?
22?
It is a skill check, but you're not proficient. In it
Proficient.
That's
unless
why
you have
there's
no
something- Even if you
proficiency.
can add your proficiency bonus, I don't think that would make you proficient.
I think it's only for.
Proficient in cutting in line.
22 Nas?
Excuse me. 22.
Okay. Okay. Everybody's now in the order.
Oh.
With that finishing, people moving your way. The massive Soulforged figure, quote unquote, looks to you, Eclipse. You see no eyes, and stands with a surprising speed for its size,
Mm-hmm.
and then pulls its tower shield up, picks up the mace, and just lumbers towards you very, not aggressively, but emphatically, and stops at the edge of camp. And just looks to be in a protective stance.
For Brightwing, there is genuinely a bit of PTSD at that.
Mm,
Mhm.
But I'm still
Okay.
like, there's probably like a clench in the hands a little bit, but it's still like I'll stop once it meets me, and I'm just like, all right.
Where's the nearest tree, Matt?
Probably 40 feet away, off to the side up the road.
Okay.
Um,
Good to know.
okay. Faye would be in the order, but you did use your turn. Well, you used your action. Do you want to use a bonus action for something? And/or your words? Okay. There's no need for that sly grin.
Mm. Mm. A simple misunderstanding, friends. We apologize for the intrusion. Our friend here simply loves trees.
Okay. I will say you can make that a persuasion check. It probably doesn't matter too much, but I would say that's more persuasion than deception. She does love trees.
Hey!
Huh?
None of those things. I mean, it doesn't matter. The number's the same.
She wasn't just coming through because she loves trees as the only part of that was mildly untrue, but most of it was pretty much just true.
She wanted to see it up close.
Yeah,
I did. I wanted to see it up close. I was very curious about this particular tree, which is apparently a staff, which is pretty cool.
Was it just that it's... Oh.
What? Well, I'm sorry, 28?
28.
Oh, my sweet lord.
That's pretty good.
Was it just that it didn't look normal in the forest? Was that the vibe?
Yeah, it's just a big ass
We're in
tree.
the plains. We're in like Kansas.
Nothing's supposed to be out here. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I was like, why are we here?
Okay. That's your turn. The mouse folk figure looks to the elvish woman that's standing behind you, Brightwing.
Oh, could I use my bonus action for something?
Yeah.
Could I, with that speech, just kind of give Brightwing like a knowing smile and a wink and give her an inspiration?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay. You have a D8, is it? Or is it
Yeah.
10 now? Okay.
My
D8.
love for trees.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love it.
The mouse folk looks to the woman behind Brightwing. The tree walker like you, eh? Still holding these ethereal daggers. Doesn't make an aggressive move. The woman behind you... Don't know, it can't be too safe.
That's my first time walking through a tree, by the way.
Okay.
First time, no flip.
The two remaining figures who have not done anything yet, the Dragonborn, and the sort of human who just had put her hand to her hilt, stand relatively at attention but not aggression. The Dragonborn moves a little bit closer to where Brightwing is at, and the woman with the sheathed sword moves a little bit closer to you, Faye. Still hand on the hilt, looks over at you, who's a ways off on the road. You all travelers out here? Or you make a habit of popping in on unsuspecting travelers and what's the business, I guess?
We're
I didn't know you were here.
Not you, Feathers.
We're travelers as well. There are 2 others that will be coming up behind us on the road shortly, just so you're aware. We ran into some trouble passing through the military outpost, and so we're a bit on edge. We've been scouting ahead as we travel.
What kind of trouble?
I've never seen anything like it. They showed up out of nowhere riding these great black beasts. Cats, almost. a fight broke out around us. It was all we could do to escape.
The woman, the redhead, looks back once again to this elvish woman behind Brightwing. Faye and Eclipse, you wouldn't see this because she looks away from you, but Brightwing, you see, with your particularly good perception, her just raise an eyebrow at the elvish woman behind you. Sildarian, the attackers. This is from the elvish woman. To you, Faye.
Presumably, given all that's been happening, they didn't have a flag.
Rather specific sort of assault. Doesn't sound very Cathian. And you all, do you have any allegiances?
We're all Cathian citizens.
Well,
Do you say that? She looks to you.
I'm not I'm a
She's
flip away.
unaffiliated.
That's the best way to say, I guess. I'm of Kathos, but not of Kathos. It's
Right.
hi, I'm Brightwing. Nice to meet you.
I believe we find ourselves on the side of staying the fuck out of the way of whatever's going on.
The elf looks briefly from Brightwing at her introduction to Faye as she says this, and then to the redhead. And the red-haired woman slides the 2 inches of sword back into her hilt. All right. Well, we can at least have a less tense talk. Everybody's all right with that.
Please.
As she says that, everybody suddenly hears the galloping horses, the wheels, a sprinting woman ahead of all of them.
A wave. Like,
Okay. Nas, roll a perception check. And Eclipse, or Sam, sorry, roll a perception check.
who's got the earrings?
I do, but
Minimum of 14.
Nas has the other earring.
Natural
I have the other
20.
oh,
Nas and who?
Brightwing.
Okay.
oh,
Brightwing,
okay.
you see this as they begin to approach.
I'm going to tell my friend it's okay.
All right.
Naz, we are untense. It is okay. Don't hurt them, I guess.
He has no idea what you're talking about. Okay. Nas, you get that message. Would you like to reply?
Don't hurt them. Everyone in the group.
Probably hear, God damn it, Rhapsody! No, to the right, to the right! Why are you... Hurt who? Are you in trouble?
I'm fine.
Half the group gives you a very quizzical look. The other half is glancing with a bit more added tension once again as this woman sprints up, and then a wagon of horses behind it. Do you slow it all, Nas?
If she's saying she's fine, yeah, I'll bring it down a little bit, but still with...
Okay.
We'll go from
With
aggressive
gusto.
to slightly hostile, maybe.
Okay. You quick trot it in.
There we go.
And catch up to where Faye is standing at the road. As Sam, do you want to approach stealthily? I guess I should ask.
No, they know I'm coming.
Okay.
I just ran the length of like 3 football fields, so I'm gonna catch my breath.
Okay. You run up. You all see this group of figures. There is the supposed easing of tension, now slightly discombobulated again by the speeding cart and woman, is very clearly very tenuous, because they can tell, as you could when you saw them, that you are a party of likely capable, quote-unquote, adventurers, and that things could get messy if things went the wrong direction. So the tension is not fully eased. But Nas catches up to the road, stops by Eclipse. Sam runs up to within talking distance roughly, is catching her breath.
Are you killing anyone?
No!
No.
No.
Certainly hope not.
I'd prefer not to, and I'll just gesture to the.
I don't think we could.
What the tree? It's
What the hell is that?
Yeah, what happened to... Sorry, we were keeping an eye from afar, and the tree disappeared, and so we came up with much haste. Is everyone alright? Are you all alright?
The elvish woman back by Brightwing holds up her staff a little higher. That's me. Yes,
Huh.
we're all right, assuming we're not about to be axed on the side of the road.
We don't,
We don't have any axes.
No, none of us have an axe.
Yeah. We don't have one of those.
You have many stabby things though, so if you preferred the skewering, we could do that. But
No, we're not.
There's no preference here. We don't prefer anything.
Wrong
Just
one.
Light tones.
Light.
Overcorrection.
The red-headed woman looks at you, Sam. I can tell without seeing any that you do. Maybe it's best everybody just.
Could we
shows
have
what
our
they
friend?
got.
I hold up a loot.
Are you offering to trade a loot for feathers here?
No! You said hold up what you've got. This is what I've got.
Ah,
do we have to
I-
trade for feathers?
well, not necessarily, but let's not be too hasty. You have a lute. Does that mean you're a traveling singer, or does that mean you've got some... And she wiggles her fingers.
I mean, it's pretty obvious we're like a band.
Universal
you know?
sign for magic.
Uh-huh.
Weird fingers.
In fact,
We're the
She'll-
traveling cover band known as Fishing Trip.
she'll wiggle her fingers and then touch them to the hilt of the greatsword on her back, and the pommel will start to glow. And
Fucking
you'll see a bit of light.
paladins.
That's not fucking fair. Guess
The
I don't
loot
wanna
will
do
start
that.
to glow. As I cast light.
Actually,
I don't want to do that.
how far away are you? Are you still out on the road, or have you moved forward?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I
We're
probably
over
stepped.
40
I
feet
probably
away.
like moseyed. I probably cut the distance between the road and Eclipse.
Okay, so
Just
it's
so that we're not
went up
yelling
20,
at
you're
each other.
30
Yeah.
from the camp. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me check something real quick. Okay.
Oh, do I see what she does?
So, Eclipse, notably, as you you make your 20-foot slow march, and sort of as the conversation is happening, you at some point you suddenly, without expectation, pass from looking at this shadowed camp to a roaring fire where the fire is. And it almost is like you have to blink for a second, let your eyes adjust, because it's so sudden. Faye, you see her touch her hilt, and as you're walking up, you don't really know what happened. And then as you get about 10 feet behind Eclipse, where she is stopped, so you're about 30 feet away from the camp, you see that fire kick in to your vision, and the pommel of her sword is glowing.
I'm slow walking and I wiggle my fingers, and then the third hand wiggles its fingers.
I will light a bright ball.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, cool trick.
I'll-
we can
I'll
all do
use
it.
Still
my-
just standing here like, whatever, man.
I'll take my staff of feathers, bird calls, and I'll just make it sound like birds, I guess.
Okay. Everybody briefly looks at you with like a odd.
I can't make a tree out of mine, okay?
You should collaborate.
All right. Well, at the interest of not knowing how a unfriendly confrontation would go between our groups, perhaps we return your friend.
Yes, please.
All right, and continue
Preferable.
from a more balanced standpoint.
Okay.
Much
All right.
appreciated.
Glances at the rest of the group, who all kind of take another notch down from like 7 on the tenseness scale to like 4.
Mm.
Brightwing, do you?
Let's just take a step and look behind at the woman. Is she letting me go?
She gives you like a raised eyebrow.
No. Just keep walking.
Okay. As you walk, the mouse folk who is hanging from that seeming invisible hole in space drops down kind of next to you, flicks the daggers one time. Ha ha!
My
Hi.
claws do flinch at that moment, but I don't
yeah.
move.
Okay.
It's still like, it's a tense.
I would say Brightwing's looking forward, but before he even lands, Brightwing's already facing him, looking at him. Because I would have
Okay.
percent.
Okay. Just gives you like a.
You are an excitable fellow, yes.
Well, might be a little more excited if there was a bit more action going on here, but I guess it's for the best. We don't all.
God, I'm gritting
don't
my
have
teeth
to.
so much right now.
Oh my god.
I'm just going to keep
Fucking
going.
hell.
Right. I'm just
Okay.
walk over, and then I'll go behind the cliffs and just like
As-
keep my head out.
As you move past the Soul Forge, he does, or they do like a sideways, like previously guarding, now sideways to let you pass sort of thing. Nods very slowly as you do.
Sort of look at the Soul Forge, and then I get like a chill just run up my spine for
Yeah,
a second.
yeah. We're all not
Uh-huh.
vibing very well
I'll
with
just,
that.
I'll just
Okay,
nod back.
Is it bigger than
It's huge.
Is it as big as
Iron Hand?
Flint?
Yeah.
This one is a little bit bigger height-wise and
But not-
broader.
Okay.
Broader by a good bit, and it is like they are
Okay.
essentially like a
refrigerator?
block. Yeah, like basically they're a refrigerator. They are
Okay.
just an absolute unit of metal that looks like they probably weigh 600 pounds or something.
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
As he like nods back, I'll just nod and wave and continue to go behind, and then after I get there, it's like 5 feet, and then scurry behind the cliffs and poke my head out.
Okay.
I'll come up
Alright.
closer and just like pat Brightwing on the back.
Is the cart?
Even ground now, yes?
Thank you.
All right.
God damn it, Matt. You're gonna
Seraphis,
make me slip into Delphine.
I think you can bring our cover back now. And the elf goes back to right where Brightwing was and plants the staff in the ground and says that same word, and
Do I
this
recognize
massive
the word?
oak tree. What languages do you speak?
A lot. Elvish.
I know a little bit of all
Yes.
of them.
Primordial.
That's
Elvish?
true.
Elvish?
Do you have to make a roll for that?
Nope.
Okay, it's just if I feel like you might know the word.
Let me read it.
Yeah, tell me what it says.
When you encounter a commonly used verbal or written language you're not proficient with, you can make an intelligence check. That's what it's.
Okay, make an intelligence.
Ascertain the basic meaning.
Yeah, go for it.
Like knowing the
14.
root words of Latin.
Yeah.
14.
It's like I took first year of every language.
Okay.
14.
This would be like when you learn the Elvish alphabet as a kid. This is
I also
the word.
speak Elvish.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did too.
okay.
Yeah.
Well then.
We just
Yes.
speak Elvish.
Okay. Yes, anyone who speaks Elvish would recognize the word Lesta to mean flourish.
Mm.
Ooh.
I
And
lean over to
this-
Brightwing and is like, it means flourish.
Is like a.
Makes
It is
sense.
literally a 60-foot tall tree with a 5-foot diameter trunk, and about 40-foot diameter canopy. Looks to be some kind of oak or something. It's absolutely massive. All right. Well, if we've de-escalated a bit, and you have tidings we might be interested to hear, I wouldn't say no to a. I don't know. Brief
conversation?
snack. Yes, a conversation.
Do you like tea?
I like tea. Yes.
Good tea.
All right. Tea. Sound good? Everybody else? There's like
We'll
a
have-
general batch of nods.
We should also mention we do have one small rite of passage that we ask of any potential conversation guests. If you're interested.
I start
Depends.
sweating.
What?
What sort of right?
No one could tell.
Anyone down for an arm wrestling match?
Oh god. Oh my god.
Interesting.
I'm the reigning champion, and I'll nudge Faye.
Okay. The redhead looks back to the elvish woman briefly as you say this, and you, Nas, see the elvish woman giving you like a very piercing gaze, and then she looks at the redhead. Doesn't seem like they have any ill intent. Grave? And the Soulforge figure looks to you.
What's the name? Wait. What's the name?
Grave.
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 Oh boy.
I would be delighted.
If you break my arm, I will cry.
Are you the participant?
Yes.
I
I'll
will
make
use
the
my
tea.
left arm. Sets up on a log. Has to like. But in fact, initially tries to sit down and put the elbow on the log, and it's just too high, so goes full like belly down, elbow up on the log.
You got this, Faye.
Inspiration.
Guidance.
Yeah, that's great. That'll do it.
Do you attempt to cast guidance?
No.
Okay.
Could we at least make? Is he large sized? No.
He is
Don't reduce him to
Over
No,
10
he's-
feet tall.
He's just very high on the medium scale.
Mm.
Pushing it.
All right.
Okay, you set up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Brightwing, you'll fix it, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Incidentally, actually, let me look real quick.
I give her an espresso shot beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
We're just rubbing her shoulder. Just giving her espresso shot. We're just fucking
You got it.
Someone's got a
There is-
towel. They're
There
like
is no
fanning her.
sweat. There is. It is the facade is full confidence. The facade is very much like.
You're also both like slippery because it's
Fine.
raining.
Okay.
Oh man, it is still
Uh,
raining, isn't it? Shit.
Faye, as you sit and take this massive hand. The
Mhm.
back of a hand because they're using their left and going backwards.
Oh, I was gonna put my left hand up too.
Oh,
She's
okay.
ambidextrous. She's a musician. She can do both.
True. Okay. Left up then.
Mm.
You see this this runic carving all over this figure's plating.
Yeah.
In the center, because you're well educated and had a decent roll for one of your rolls, you recognize a symbol. It looks to be the symbol of Gwethir, one of the gods.
Yeah, I was just
Probably
reading through all that
represent
the other day. Actually, you sent me all that information a while back. Oh, that's like, oh,
Huh?
that's the god of death and fate, right?
Oof.
Arianu. Who are you?
Oof.
And
believe,
as
right?
you take their
Oh.
hand,
His name's Grave.
his name is Grave. Their name is Grave.
Bro.
You see
A grave cleric?
a slight pulse of light in the center, and then that light sort of climbs up and onto the hand as they take your hand.
That's not playing fair.
That's not playing fair.
I will
Ready.
stare where I think the eyes should be.
Okay.
I'm probably looking at it as like over here somewhere.
Okay.
But
Are you ready?
oh, you. I think I might surprise you.
There's a slight nod, and then you hear a like suddenly next to you a small voice. All right, I'll count it down.
Nuh-uh, back up 5 feet.
What?
You
I'm
can
not
count it down, but
helping.
you're gonna do it from over there.
Fine. Mouthful skitters away 5 feet. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
My invisible mage hand waits in the wings for
Oh,
Faye.
shit. Okay. Which can move 10 pounds, I believe.
Yes, it's 10
about all
pounds of
they can
force.
move too. Is it athletics?
Yes, athletics.
There is a positive number
Yay!
on the there is an integer there. Matt, it's a dirty 20.
Oh shit!
Let's go!
Natural
Way up there,
18.
Tommy.
With a 19,
Let's
you
go!
get a slight lead, and the Soulforged head turns very slightly, and the mouse folk starts to basically cackle. Great. If you lose to this spindly lass, you'll never hear the end of it. Just so we're aware. All right, roll again.
Go Faye!
Ooh.
How does DM, just in case I haven't rolled anything yet, but does the heroic inspiration work the same way as bardic
You can use
inspiration,
it
or do I have
after
to
you roll.
state the intent beforehand?
No, it's a reroll.
It's a
You
reroll.
can reroll
Okay.
it
The intent. Do you have
before
to?
you know the no, you don't have to
Okay,
say
so I
it.
don't have to declare it beforehand. So, but if I roll like shit, I could use my heroic inspiration. Okay,
Because of the
Yes.
changes, yes. It used
Okay.
to be that way, but now you can use it as a reroll.
I'm gonna use it.
Okay.
So
It was a 9.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a 15 total.
Okay. With a 28,
Oh.
you are 45 degrees the other way, holding on barely, but not looking great. Sam, are you?
My
attempting to
mage
contribute
hand
here?
comes in Patrick Swayze's face.
Okay. All right. I can't remember if I've given a specific mechanical
I
bonus.
think it was a
for this, but I'll
plus
say-
1.
I was gonna say I'll give it a
Yeah.
plus
I
1.
think it's a plus 1.
Okay. Roll again. Oh. Oh my lord.
That's another natural 18 for a 21.
Absolutely terrible. Okay. The full swing back, and now you're a little bit in the lead. This is one of the better matches we've seen. Roll again.
Go. Get it.
The
Brightwing
mouse
is just
folk
going,
is,
yes!
You
popping
still have
back
your
and forth.
guidance as well. Just
I
in
didn't
He
case
did not
Casting.
cast guidance.
I did not cast
He
guidance.
did not
Oh,
cast
fine, then.
guidance.
Okay.
I don't have anything for this. If it was a saving throw, I would.
Jeez.
Go, Faye! Go, Faye! Go, Faye!
It's a 19. 20, a dirty
No.
20 with the hand. It was
Okay.
a natural
It's
17.
an
Let's go.
18, so
Ooh.
you get down very nearly to the end. You are a small victory away from winning. It's barely a win, so you don't get
Get
to the
it.
edge, but
Go, Faye!
Roll
Go,
again.
Faye!
Get
Go,
it.
Faye! Go, Faye! Go, Faye!
Come
Go,
on, let's
Faye!
go.
Come on.
that's better. That's much
16.
better. 24.
Damn.
Back up to almost halfway. You're still a little bit in the lead.
You're better at this than I thought you'd be.
I am impressed.
Thank you. That's not as good. That's a 13.
24 again.
Mm.
They
Damn.
get you down too close to the edge. Oh.
19.
26.
Damn.
To the tree. The mouse folk immediately pats who you imagine to be Grave on the back. You are lucky. You will never have heard the end of it. I'm impressed. Not bad. Not bad
Thank
at
you.
all. Well,
I mean, there wasn't there was no chance. Like, we know that, right?
I don't know what sort of weird magics you might have.
Why would I use that? It's a fair fight.
The soul-forged Grave looks to you.
Reached my hand out to him.
Massive fist.
Mm-hmm.
Shakes. Looks back to who seems to be, if not the leader, the spokesperson of this group, this red-haired woman. All right, not a bad icebreaker. Might have to adopt that. All right, you said something about tea then?
Yes.
All right. Well, you can use our fire unless it's too big for tea. I don't know. It's more for roasting.
That's okay. And I'll control flames and like make my own.
Okay. Everybody, just for the heck of it, give me a insight check.
They're gonna stab us in our sleep or poison
We're
us.
sleeping here.
We're not sleeping here.
No.
Damn it.
That's a
Four.
natural 3 for a 3.
Hey!
The natural,
Natural three
for a four.
buddies!
That's
Hey.
3 natural
Wow.
threes.
Holy mackerel.
For an
Is that a
8.
lucky number?
Did you say 22, Faye?
Yeah, I have expertise and insight now.
Damn. Right one?
25.
Okay. The three marshals are oblivious to anything particular. The two
Look,
of
there's
you,
a giant soul forge. I'm not having a great time right now.
the two of you
I feel like I'm being watched.
kind of give a brief sort of visual casing to these figures that you've gathered here. Probably Faye from a interpersonal, I'm running the conversation here sort of evaluation, and Brightwing from a I'm the insight girl, I want to know where everybody's at sort of approach. The standouts to you are the Mousefolk just seems like he doesn't give a flying fuck, and he's just down for whatever. The others are mostly are pretty measured and just seem careful. The Dragonborn seems suspicious and standoffish a little bit.
Yeah,
You
they haven't
see-
said anything.
No, you see them standing pretty silently, arms crossed, just sort of on the edge, keeping a consistent eye, sort of watching between all of you.
Can I see, and maybe with that insight, determine what, just a scooch of what their specialties might be? Like, does he seem like a mage of some kind, like a magic user? Or does he seem like a
Okay.
martial, like an unarmed martial?
Interesting.
I was gonna ask the same thing.
Okay, what I will do is I will have both of you roll a Arcana check as well.
And I accidentally match his vibe.
Oh, yes, you do. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Checks out.
16.
23.
23 and 16.
Check
Okay, with
right.
your insight checks combined, that's enough to get like very base level concepts, not necessarily class and subclass, but the human woman seems to be, well, Faye said out loud something about a paladin, I think. Unless you said that as Megan. I'm not
I
sure.
said that as Megan. I was like, fucking
Okay.
paladins.
It gives that vibe very much with the great sword, the armor, and the bit of magic that they have displayed. Brightwing, you would get a similar vibe. The mouse folk, tough to tell, but the whirling ethereal daggers suggest something martial, though not necessarily a get up in your face sort of martial. The orc woman has the antler tattoos on the side of her head and this bow, and the armor she is wearing is like a studded leather. And as you now have had a moment to kind of gauge everyone, you also see she's wearing this cloak that seems to almost every once in a while just like glitch just a tiny bit.
Cool.
It's difficult to say whether she has any magical prowess for certain, but certainly seems to be an accomplished archer of some kind. The elf woman seems like an arcanist, given the staff and the magic that she displayed with it. Not necessarily sure what kind, although I think you were both here, I know at least Brightwing was, when the mouse folk said something about another tree walker like you to this woman.
Yeah.
So you got that as a hint. Grave, the Soul Forged. Difficult to say. The symbol on their chest would suggest some allegiance to this god. Faye, you would know. Brightwing would not recognize that. Whether that's just religious or whether it's related to what they can do, you're not sure. Obviously also strong and armored, so you imagine they're a bit of a frontliner. And then the Dragonborn, between the sort of armorless, open-chested garb and the bracers, you get the sense that this person fights weaponless, but martially in some way, probably. Both of you would pick up most of that. Really just
Like-
minus the
like
religious
Rylus?
symbol for... Yes, like Rylus.
I'll start
You start making tea?
making tea.
Okay. Are you making it in any special pots? I think you have some special pots. Can't really keep track.
I have a special pot. I have 2 pots. I have the one that I came in with, and then the one that we bought.
Mm-hmm.
So I have 2 pots. So I have 2 pots going. All of a sudden,
Okay.
more bird cows call.
Yep.
All of a sudden,
Okay.
I don't have enough teacups though. I only have, I think, 5 or 6.
Okay. As you get towards the end of the tea and like are laying out the cups and noticing you don't have any, you see a bunch of them pull out their own random bits and bob cups, mugs, ale, sort of. What would these be called?
Tankards.
Tankards. Yes, thank you.
A tankard of tea.
Yeah.
Tankard
well,
of
listen,
tea.
not everybody's a tea drinker. Let me check something real quick, just to see. No. Okay. But everybody kind of waits patiently while the tea is being brewed, sort of letting it be a like cool down period. But then as you start to pour, you fill up your 5 cups, you start pouring in everybody else's. Everybody else in their group looks to the redheaded woman before drinking. She takes a drink. It's very good. Where'd you say you were from?
from the Stygian forest.
That's West Kathos?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't think I've met anyone from there.
I don't really
Alright.
travel.
Seems, I imagine they make good tea where you come from. Appreciated. Sort of just glances at the rest of the group, all of whom now either get a cup of tea they didn't have or start sipping the tea that you poured. And they all take seats, though not away from their weapons or in any way unable to jump up if something went wrong. They still seem rather untrusting, and the Dragonborn has not moved. He does not come to get any tea. He just stands on the edge of camp, arms crossed. Eclipse, do you continue mirroring, or do you come get some tea?
It's not angry. It's just accidentally matching a vibe.
Yeah, he doesn't seem necessarily angry either. Just
Yeah,
like,
it's like, well, all right, we have a job, I guess. This
As
is the
everyone's-
role.
essentially, with your passive insight as well, you just largely get the sense that he is the Eclipse of this group in terms of,
Stand off to the side and look intimidating.
yes, and not willing to rush into anything and being careful to evaluate what's going on and protective, that whole vibe.
I think Brightwing takes one of the ladybug cups, pours it with tea, and just, walks over, but not like full in his face, and just kind of puts it down on like a root that's like sticking up next to him. Give him a smile and walk back.
Okay. Well, suppose if a conversation's going to be had, a name is a good start to it. I'm Ashana. Looks to the rest of her group. The mouse folk. Kaelin. Pleased to make your acquaintance. The orc with the tattoos. River. The elf who had the staff, who you've heard speaking before. Serathis. And also pleased to make your acquaintance. I will say no one's ever come through my tree before. In
Sorry.
fact, I didn't even really know that would work with this particular tree. That's quite useful. Thank you.
Oh. You're welcome.
The Soul Forged nods very slowly. Grave. Which you've heard. And the Dragonborn, still on the side, takes a long pause after everybody's announced their names. They all look at him. Malik.
Malik?
Yeah. And,
It's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Faye. Not all at once.
Yasnip. And you are Yasnip right now,
I
right?
am Yasnip, yeah.
Okay.
Sandy.
Notably,
Eclipse.
you're about 10 minutes into Sandy. Just something to keep track of.
Okay.
Eclipse. Okay. And you said your name was
Oh, I'm Brightwing.
Bratwing, right? And judging you all, way you, I don't know, you called yourself a band. You have a name. Find that to be common.
Pounding pumpkins.
That's a
I'm
bad
sorry.
name.
Pumpkins now.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a deception check if you're trying to. With disadvantage because of
Could have been.
Faye's hands in her.
We could have been the cover
The
band fishing
natural-
trip.
That was a natural 19 and a natural 18
Yo.
for a 26.
Damn. We are pounding pumpkins. Holy shit.
Thank God.
It is.
Okay.
I'm convinced our name changed.
Yeah.
What? True. You said what pumpkins, by the way?
Pounding.
Pounding.
Like smashing pumpkins, but pounding
Oh
pumpkins.
my gosh.
It's a lot more sensual than smashing pumpkins.
I will send you the TikTok.
I would
Jesus.
be most curious to know how you got that name.
I would
Me too.
No pumpkins were harmed in the naming of this band, I assure you.
Right. Well, we call ourselves the Veilstriders. Not quite as whimsical.
That's
as
a
Pound
good
of
name. That's
Pumpkins.
Leah talking.
Yeah.
Stop rowing.
Could have been the Dawn trailers. That's crazy. Anyways.
Mm, mm, mm.
Anyways.
We are also occasionally known as the Twilight Heralds.
That fits the vibe a little bit more.
Hmm.
Founding Pumpkins
Alright.
was the
That was the actual band
work-
name.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
The
the band
stage.
name.
Yes.
Yeah,
We do
stage
perform
name.
occasionally.
Do you now? Well, we might have to see that. It's been a while since we've seen a good performance.
That could be
When is
arranged.
the last time? No, the mouse folk. You know, I think it's been possibly like 6 months since Kavostra, perhaps. Can't be sure.
Where is that? Does that ping?
Yeah, I won't make you roll for it. You're educated and traveled enough. That would be in Vordon, even just by the name Kavostra.
That's along the fell spine.
More, yeah.
It is,
Oh.
yes.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, if you feel like stretching your strings or whatever they would say, we wouldn't say no. But imagine that's not what you're out here for. Not many bands go trudging through the rain and the mud in war brewing realms.
You'd hardly believe the actual reason.
You might be surprised.
We're going fishing.
We are. In light
Roll
of all of-
deception checks.
We are,
What?
in fact, going fishing.
We are
This is
going
part of the
fishing!
script.
Okay,
Yes.
even if you are going fishing, this is a live omission and will always be anytime you guys try to say this. You are veiling deeper intentions.
We're
I will
going.
say
We're going fishing!
I will say both of you can make it with advantage, given the pipe-in of the other.
Yeah.
19.
It is our life's work.
To go fishing! We have the poles, we have the intention, we have the location.
With
You have
advantage?
everything. That living legend is not gonna catch itself, right? I'm just saying, like.
That doesn't look good. Or maybe it is really good.
I don't know.
30.
That is really
Okay.
good.
We're going fishing,
Hey.
y'all.
We are
We are
going
going
fishing.
fishing. Brightwing believes we have rerouted and
We're
are going
going
fishing.
Yep. You guys are pounding pumpkins and you're going fishing.
Put that in adequate.
Yeah, that's definitely
Out
not
of
a euphemism.
context. Mm-mm. Not at all.
Well, this is quite the trek to go fishing then. Have you got a particular spot of some great magnitude you're looking to fish at?
You know, we met an old guy up in, gosh, where was it? Saalfeld, who swore by, help, Faye knows, Megan, is it
Karth
Karthcrest
Crest.
Lake?
Wait,
Yeah,
Lake.
yeah, who swore by Karthcrest Lake.
The orc tilts their head a little bit. Do you have flies?
What'd she say?
do we have
Why?
flies?
I have tackle. Probably. Would I know what Megan knows? Faye's never been fishing.
No! Faye
you
might
need
not
to-
know what flies are.
Do you need to talk to a fly?
Nas would probably know what a fly is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nas would probably know what a fly is, yes.
We have enough of a jig to set up flies.
I thought we are going fishing.
It's part of fishing. I'll show you later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll dance when we get it, so don't worry about it. It's fine.
Karthcrest Lake, fish like flies. That's all.
You
That's
from
a great
there?
tip.
Well,
Well,
appreciate
if you know of any other spots, we might make a tour of this if we decide we like it. So feel free to drop some tips.
Depends on what you're looking to catch. Some bigger Lostfell Lake's a better idea. It's a little more north.
I think we're more interested in the challenge, not necessarily the size.
And looks primarily at Eclipse. You all bring guardians for fishing. Is that the war situation?
You could say that. We also just happen to know muscular friends who also appreciate fishing.
It's like a
Um,
greater network of fishermen that we kind of just like link up every once in a while.
Closet fishers.
There's a whole Discord server.
Desperate times call for stressless measures.
The Dragonborn finally speaks up for the first time outside of saying their name.
We met on Reddit.
No ulterior motives to this fishing.
Well, I think everyone has ulterior motives for everything they do. What are you all up to?
The Dragonborn Malik looks back to Ashana. We're on a sort of acquisitions mission. Get paid to do things. Imagine, well, if you're fishers, I suppose you don't get paid to do things, but you might be familiar with that kind of work.
Give her a knowing smile.
Okay. Westward.
So you've come from the east then?
Well, we've come from all over. In fairness, we make our way
Most
out.
recently?
Most recently from the east, yeah.
Anything we need to keep an eye out for?
Well, getting in through Hawkholm's not that hard right now. Or getting out through Hawkholm's not that hard, but getting in, they're on edge, as I'm sure you can imagine.
Well, if you managed it, then I'm sure we'll be just fine on our return journey.
You, all from Kathos? Catch
We
the
all-
tiniest sidelong glance in the armored person's direction.
Towards Eclipse?
Yeah.
It is home to all of us, yes. Well, most of us. And look at
Did
Brightwing.
they really think I'm not from here? That's hilarious.
You get the sense more that they're curious whether you have any military ties.
Oh,
Given
God damn it. Every
the state
time!
of the
We need to get you a dress.
No!
Yeah.
It's funnier this way, but god damn
Like
it!
easy dawn on, dawn off armor. Like an
Uh-huh.
Iron Man suit.
Mm.
So you just
That'd be
hook it on.
so funny.
You know.
We're lucky this doesn't make as much noise.
Your, this is the elf to you, Brightwing. Your, tree walking. Where'd you learn to do that?
Well, to be fair, I sort of people from my homes can do it. I just thought I'd give it a shot. I've been trying to work it out on my own. And it worked, as you saw. So
Congratulations, I guess, are in order.
it's not the one where you can go great distances. It's just the one where it's surveying, I guess.
Do you
Which is
have
what I
that
was
ability
doing.
As well?
I'm sorry?
Do you have that ability as well?
Oh, no. That is more the druids of my people. I'm a cleric.
Gives a knowing nod. A cleric who you worship. We have a bit of religious tie in this group.
Oh, look at Grave.
My people worship the wilds.
Sorry?
The wilds, they are the personification of nature and the balance of life and death and the cycle of life and all that.
Curious.
The balance between chaos and order of nature.
Right. Well, that must be a unique Western Kathos religion. It's not one I've heard of. We
From
cover many of the bases, though. That's convenient.
yeah, from what I understand, it is Kathian religions is lit up. I've never really known that. It's kind of already been one thing for us.
Well, your tea is quite good, so I won't judge your religious proclivities. Not much of one myself, but great it is. You see the massive Soulforge nod to you.
You walk through trees?
No, I am devoted to a divinity.
Oh, I was talking to the elf.
Oh,
I feel like he'd still answer regardless.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yes, that is, I am, as you call it, of the more druidic type. And that is something I've learned in practice. It's quite useful, though, again, I hadn't actually tried it through my staff. I sort of figured it wouldn't count, but now that I know, although if I stride through it, I'll be leaving it behind, which is sort of problematic. Think that one over.
That is a really cool staff, by the way.
Thank you. It is something I got from my mother,
Wow.
passed down. We prize and value our what is the word for when you pass something along to future generations?
Heirloom,
Heirlooms. Thank you.
of course.
Heirlooms.
This one, it holds up mine, doesn't make a giant tree. It helps me cast, but my master gave it to me a little while after I shifted, so it's been with me for a fair amount of years.
This one, she looks up at the tree, has several of its own magical capabilities beyond being a tree. Quite helpful when you're out and about in a natural environment, and you just speak with an animal or a plant or wall someone off with nature. It's quite helpful.
The tree
Anyways.
talks.
Well, in a way, yes, if you have the magic for it.
Yes. My people sometimes speak to plants, but I've only had the ability to speak to animals since little.
The red-haired woman, you hear suddenly, rather out of nowhere, Kaylin! And you see about 10 feet behind Sam, the mousefolk figure, sort of padding forward. It was just a test. I wanted to see if she would notice.
I swat him with
ruined
with an invisible mage hand.
Ah, what in the...
Don't take me shit. You won't get swatted.
Fair enough. That was quite a trick.
I have a few.
So do I. Flips both daggers up. They disappear in the air and then reappear in his hands. Well, I don't know how long you intend to travel this evening, but our tree is, I suppose it might be big enough for some extra campage on the other side if you wanted to stick around.
I appreciate that gracious offer. I think it would be a mutual feeling of we might just keep on moving.
What'd you say, Brian?
I said it's a bit forward to ask us to sleep with you.
Yeah.
You've heard weirder.
You see, mainly Brightwing would sense this with your passive insight. There is a sigh of relief from basically everyone as you give this response, Faye. It was clearly extended as a nicety, but they didn't want you to stay here either, is the sense that you get. By the way, if you have expertise in insight now, what's your passive insight now?
19.
Okay, good to know. You would pick up on this too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, thank you for the tea. And for the bit of excitement.
Thanks for not killing me.
You are very welcome. It certainly could have gone that direction very quickly, but glad we didn't.
An interesting roundabout way, considering you all have been together for some time now. Genuinely curious, have you ever had any business with the Scarlet Sword?
Oh, boy. We've crossed paths once or twice. I think we did a job that was in competition with them once, which was pretty annoying because they are stubborn.
And
But
also running to their own graves. Sorry, not to you, so.
nods. No particular friendly or unfriendly interactions, just parallel, I guess.
I suppose just looking for your insight on the group as a whole.
Well, stubborn. That's for sure. Competent to a point in their own way, but we prefer our methods. Why? You have run-ins? They're looking for you or something?
No, not at all. I just think that they are a bunch of people that have made a suicide pact of some sort.
Haven't experienced that, but well, you know what? They do seem rather intent on throwing themselves into the claws and teeth of massive creatures without
Monsters
much
and
care.
beasts
Yeah.
that they don't fully understand.
That's kind of a good point. Interesting. I'll have to make a note of that next time we see one. Well, I suppose good luck then.
To you all as well with your acquisition.
May the fish bite? Is that something you say, River? No.
Nobody fucking says that. That's weird.
Is it the opposite? Is it like may the fish scorn your existence, similar to what they say in the theater when they tell you to break a leg? It's like the opposite of good luck, because wishing good luck would
Maybe
be
fish
bad luck.
Shigario.
That's less about luck and more about skill, so
Hey, my comment is getting better, but even I find that very confusing.
We should go.
Oh, yeah. Thank you
Hi.
all.
Sorry for dropping in.
yeah, you I don't know, you might want to scout your trees in the future, although I'd imagine most of them aren't created by
I think
stabs.
the intention was for that to be the scouting, and unfortunately backfired.
I didn't mean.
We
Didn't
may
know
send the
people were-
other bird next time.
Good plan.
Just a curious glance.
Yeah, I guess. Do you
Anyways.
have a tip on like when you're trying to scout ahead with the spell? Do you go all the way, or do you like go in increments?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't typically use it for scouting.
Oh.
Points at the tawny owl.
Fair.
Tend to use it more for sticky situations and getting out of them, in particular. Or if you need to get behind someone without them knowing, which you almost did, except we were sort of facing in every direction. And also my tree opened up, which is not typically something that it does.
Yes.
Well, safe travels to you then.
Thanks. You as well. If we meet again, let it be on less tense terms.
There's a point
Less
to
wet,
remember
hopefully, as well.
I will pull out one portion of tobacco and 2 bright balls and
Okay.
hand it to them as we leave.
Why are you giving them my drugs?
Who are you giving them to?
I'm gonna give it to.
You're giving it to the. You're
Kaylin.
giving them the tobacco or the tobacco.
The
No, I'm giving them
tobacco.
I'm gonna give them a part of the tobacco to Kaylin.
The tobacco or the tobacco?
The tobacco.
Tobacco.
Oh
Okay,
my
okay,
god.
okay.
To the
And
mouse.
2 bright balls.
Okay. They take it. Flick the bag. Good on you, mate.
You as well.
I'll go around and collect the teacups.
Okay.
Did the guy drink it?
Which guy? Well, the Soul Forge did not, because you don't even see a mouth on the Soul Forge. You're not sure exactly how that works. And the Dragonborn did not. He stayed on the edge of camp the entire time.
I brought him one.
6 words. He brought him one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladybug
He
cup.
did not take it.
Oh,
He
okay.
looked continuously suspicious.
Okay, I'll go pick it up.
Okay.
Dump.
You guys load back.
Are they
Mhm.
wet? Are the
teacups?
everyone is
Uh,
everyone wet?
Everyone's wet now. We've been
Is
wet.
it raining? Like, is
How's
it
it-
still?
We've been-
as
but
in
they had
actively
the
It's
tree-
been
raining?
raining.
But they have the tree
They have the
cover.
tree.
Yes.
Well,
So the tree has been providing them with a good bit of cover. They also do have tents set up and stuff.
Okay.
In the little bit of time that the tree has been down, you see that they've all gotten a little bit, or that
Okay.
it was down.
And
She
then
remade
for
it
like
pretty
one
quick.
last like little peace offering, I'll do control water again and just take all the water out of their clothes because I got them wet
Okay.
and dry their area off.
Okay. All right.
I'll mage hand tap the Dragonborn on the back. Visible mage hand.
You see,
And it's just a
an
little-
immediate hands go up, and they look.
It's just
behind,
doing this.
Look back your direction.
I'm walking away.
Okay. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, yeah, go ahead. I have a thing for once we're back in the cart.
Okay. As you all walk away, there is a point where, about 30 feet from the center of the camp, all the firelight blinks out of existence, and there is no light coming from within. But you make it back to your cart, load up, back onto Crater, who has been like watching suspiciously from behind the cliffs
Yeah.
at all these strangers.
Yeah,
And
when we
depressed
get about
cat.
100 feet away, I'm gonna cast invisibility on my cat
Okay.
and tell her to link back over there,
Okay.
and then I will shift my senses to the cat.
Okay.
Ooh.
Let's
Just
go.
to be sure, because it's the first time this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
Does it describe the in Find Familiar? Is it a creature? It's not like a.
It's an
I
otherworldly
think it is.
spirit, which
Is that what it says?
manifests. It's you gain the service of an otherworldly spirit, which manifests as a little animal.
Okay. So it in this form is a creature, I would say. Okay. Yeah, so you can do that. Okay. And have it pad back just to the edge of camp to watch and listen?
Yeah, like hide behind the tree, and just don't move. Just listen. I don't
Okay.
need to see. I just want to listen.
Does your cat have a name? I can't remember.
It's hard to pronounce.
It's hard to
it's
pronounce.
well, I called her Sinead the first time because she's a naked cat, and it was for Sinead O'Connor.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
As we're-
I always
Sinead.
forget how to say
As
it.
we're driving away, I'll just simply yell back, "Wiles guide you."
Okay. Roll a stealth check with advantage for Sinead.
I don't know what a
Cat
cat's
stats.
cat stats.
Yeah.
I
got
would
'em. Hold
suspect
on.
better.
A
than the
cat
average.
has a +4 to stealth.
Yeah. Good job,
Yeah,
kitty
yeah.
cat.
Cats. I'm a kitty cat. And I did sense, and I didn't sense. You can use the axolotl dice. That is a natural 19 for a
Damn!
23.
Okay. Okay. As your cat pads up, you hear, and you're looking through as well.
Mm-hmm.
Senses and through the cat. Okay. You hear the dragonborn. Doubt they're fishing, but difficult to tell. What else? Yes, Malik, we know you don't. We all know, but it's no use pressing. I found them honest. The young feathered one seems caring. Well, let's just hope they don't run anything messy. There've been whispers around that lake for a while now. I'm sure they're capable. And then conversation peters off of you into normal life.
I'm gonna leave her there.
Okay.
I don't see, Matt, in the 2024 description of the spell a distance limit.
Okay, that's a good question because this is always a difficult thing. Let us take a gander. While your familiar is within 100 feet of you, can communicate it with it, so you can't tell it to do new things now that you're out of range.
Okay, well, I would have. Okay, knowing that, then that's what I was wondering about. I would have said wait an hour and then follow us.
Okay.
Or I can dismiss her and she can come back later.
Yeah, when you dismiss, it doesn't have to be within a certain range, and there's no language about how far away you can be while...
So listen.
Yeah, this is interesting because it says, while your familiar is within 100 feet of you, you can communicate with it telepathically. Additionally, as a bonus action, you can see through the familiar's eyes and ears what it hears until the start of your next turn, gaining the benefits of any special senses it has.
It's the
So-
additionally.
The question is
no,
whether the additionally
yeah.
falls under the while you're familiar within
100
100
feet.
feet or not.
I think
It
it
would have to
is.
be. Yeah.
Okay, so you catch that bit of conversation as you wheel away, and then you lose it.
Okay.
I believe, and I don't know if the new Warlock stuff says this, that Pact of the Chain, one of the big things about Pact of the Chain is that it could go much, much further than that. I don't know if that's the case with the new rules, but I believe that was the case with the old rules, and that seems to have carried over. So that's how we'll interpret it. Unless we see some errata or something, or Jeremy Crawford has something to say. But that's what you hear, and then you dismiss when you're out and you reach the edge of range.
And see through its eyes while it's in within that distance. I guess I've seen it used in other forms of media that was probably incorrect.
Could be.
Where it was like you could still view and listen, but you couldn't give commands.
Like that's flock of familiars as it was before. I can telepathically communicate and share their visual within a mile.
But that's also a level, like a higher level spell.
Second level, yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. I just want to make sure. This is the first time I'm using it, so I want to make sure.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's... Oh, boy. It seems like there's a little bit of question about it, so maybe we can spend some time between now and next week figuring it out. And if it seems like you should be able to, we can say that it's still there watching if you want to do something.
Okay.
But for now, you guys wheel away, look to find a different camp. How far are you going to go?
How close is it to getting dark?
Pretty. It was reaching the time where you would start looking for a spot, so you maybe have an hour before you'd be at the very end of that sort of window.
I think
Least
I'd
a
rather
half hour.
push the limit.
I'd argue for at
45.
least an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to get
Alright.
as far as
Mhm.
we can.
Okay. You guys push. Survival checks weren't particularly good, I don't think. No, you guys rolled really well today. That was the day before that was bad. Yeah, the survival checks were great. So after about an hour, you find a very solid spot to set up that has a little bit of a hillock that provides some shelter even from the rain. And you're able to set up out of range.
Are there any trees nearby?
Yes. There are a couple trees kind of on and around this hillock.
Are there any owls nearby?
Roll a perception check.
Fuck!
19!
Wow!
Nice.
Okay.
Specifically, a one tawny owl in
Uh-huh.
particular.
At this particular moment, you do not see any tawny owls.
All they're gonna see is us testing the anti-splat sack, so I think we're safe.
Doing
They're
that right now?
No,
Yeah,
not in the
these
rain.
Oh.
We are completely out of our minds.
Sounds like a terrible.
True.
I just would rather be believed crazy than dangerous.
It's true.
Also fair.
Well,
All right.
sorry.
Yeah, we really gotta work on that whole you doing something and it not working out like that.
In fairness, I kind of misstep. I was trying to go for a tree that was not next to the tree, but I went all the way to the tree.
Yeah.
So if I would have gone to the one I intended to go, I would not have done that. So I just need more practice.
It's
with this
it's
stuff.
new.
Sometimes you have to
but-
tease your way there. You can't go directly for it.
I guess that's how you could think of it.
Just yeah, we lucked out on that one.
In
Listening
fairness, if anyone were to show up out of our group, I guess me is the best one because I don't look like I can put that
mean-
much of a fight.
If you walk
So-
through a tree, that's not really like.
Yeah, they know you can do something.
Yeah.
That's true.
Don't count yourself out. Eccentric can also be dangerous.
I lost.
You did.
I mean,
Not by a
It's
lot,
bound
though.
to
That was crazy.
It was bound to happen at some point. I'm
I'm sorry.
Wow.
It's okay. They won't say anything if we don't say anything. So your
Mm.
reputation's solidly intact.
Honestly, I don't think it's something that they really want to brag about either.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fair. He did very nearly lose.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in fairness, you get the sense that the Mousefolk fellow might like to brag about it to shame the Soul
Brave.
Forge, but
Yeah.
If anything, he'll tell about how that the Soul Forge almost lost.
Mm. All right.
you guys set up camp?
Mm-hmm.
All right. We will get to watch this next time. We will end the session there. A day away from Hockholm, and an hour away from a group of interesting figures on the road.
Sauce.
Ooh-wee. There's a
Ooh,
lot in
buddy.
that. A lot. Favorite moments?
From Vordon?
Oh, what?
They were in Vordon?
They were
Yeah.
in Vordon.
Interesting. Interesting.
And they're coming from Sildari?
They're acquisition specialists. That means
Guys,
they
the
steal
lake's haunted.
things.
Bro,
Haunted Woods.
what if we just
Not
walked by
excited.
one of the things? One of the whatchamacallit?
I have no idea what you were trying to say.
The things we're looking for.
Bring people to the Blights?
Oh,
No,
One of
no, no,
the
no.
the
oh, the
artifacts?
relics?
the
Nah,
relics.
that's
No,
not.
that's
No.
not it.
No.
That's I'm
No,
familiar with that magic item.
those are ingrained. Yeah. That's a good. They had a lot of magic items, yeah.
Yeah.
They had a lot of magic. They had a lot of
We
magic
have
items.
a lot of magic items.
Right, they're
We got
acquisition
dripped.
specialists. What if
They
they
have a
just
lot of
got something
magic.
for somebody? And they're coming back.
They could have
Mhm.
snatched. I mean,
could've.
if they were hired to do that.
Just putting it out there as
Yeah.
theory.
Hmm.
I think the one we're looking for is a little fancier looking, though, than... I guess. I don't know. Is it supposed to look like anything?
The
Range.
staff?
What are you
I didn't
speaking
think they were.
There's no stuff.
There is no staff.
Oh
There's
no 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 no
No,
no!
the
I wasn't
cloak.
talking about any of their magic items that they had. They
Oh,
just
no.
might have it with them.
Oh.
It was
Yeah.
a displacement
Oh.
cloak.
Yeah,
Like
that's
the
a
boots?
displacement cloak.
Displacement cloak.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. There's a lot of like heartfelt conversations, which were really good. That whole
Mhm.
tense situation was pretty good because it really did
Mhm.
feel like two D&D groups running into each other.
Yeah, it's the Spider-Man pointing meme.
Mhm.
I don't know. That was
Overall positive.
yeah.
I'm broken on the
GG's,
inside.
guys.
I'm broken on the inside, but it's fine.
I'm gonna cry myself to
Ooh.
sleep.
Oh my Lanta, these letters.
Us
Looking
just
forward.
finding ways to distract Sam.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you
Jingle,
want to
jingle,
keep
jingle,
it easy?
jingle. Look over here, jingle, jingle, jingle.
Everything's fine.
Looking forward to the Fae Brightwing fisticuffs.
Mhm.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
re-
the
like,
training montage is gonna go hard. Yeah.
Mm.
I really like Naz's and Brightwing's conversation.
mhm.
They're all very
It
good.
was fate that I found you first.
Oh, so sweet.
Buddies.
Oh,
I also just like the contrast in Naz's gift of flight towards Faye versus Brightwing. For Faye, it was a sense of like freedom and joy. For Brightwing, it was like a test of herself in a way and determination, but a failure with it. So that was cool. And I liked how one was a clear night sky of pure of like stars, and the other one was just a thunderstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's really cool. I want fan art of like the juxtaposition of both.
hmm. It's a little backwards.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one.
Yeah.
Very many good. First half, many good conversations. Second half, very interesting interactions. That is not what I expected when this was put on the encounter list.
Did you think we were going to fight them,
Popping
Matt?
into the tree. I didn't know. With you in the party, I would lean towards not, but popping into the middle of their camp was not anywhere on the expectation list.
I didn't think it would be a camp. I was just like, a big tree, and I have a tree spell? I'm gonna do it right now!
Byron was like, there, now, no buffer.
We're gonna get
Just-
fucking killed someday doing that shit.
Yeah.
man. It's not
Yeah.
gonna go well.
Yeah.
Quit raw dogging encounters.
It is.
That was
not
fun.
Maybe
gonna
we'll be.
good.
I'm talking about-
better.
That was really fun!
The last time one of us
So
popped in by
fun.
ourselves into an unknown
Yeah,
area.
someone did have
Someone
PTSD
did die.
party.
Listen,
Like-
listen. It was fine.
We're 1 and
It
1
worked
now.
out.
We're even.
1 and 1.
It's
Batting
50-50.
500.
Jesus Christ.
All right. We will close it out there. Adios.